This literally looks like a troll. Like I think we're about to have a discussion, and it's just this for an hour.
Hush, Roger. We're about to start.
We are starting right now. In fact, hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the new Vidya Order.
Yes, we are here.
This is gonna be a spin-off of the main We Know Vidya podcast that we do over on our friend Blue Crasher 01's channel. So go check him out and see our main stuff there.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna upheaval the entire We Know Vidya podcast.
Consider this the Deep Vidya Order or the new Vidya Order, whatever the fuck.
Hang on, let me get rid of someone real quick because I do not think our friend Mr. Gunn is with us at the moment.
Just hide the asset. Yeah, hide the asset.
Yeah, so
just make it invisible, right?
Now I know Blue Crasher is here, so us talking about upheavaling the
only temporarily.
Yeah. But he'll be here to mod.
Only on Mondays, the off weeks, you know.
Yeah. Then we can talk about conspiracy.
Exactly, dude.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Like magnets aren't real.
Yeah.
How do they work, man?
They don't work. They get welfare.
Let me go ahead and put.
They get welfare.
Okay.
They get unemployment benefits from the government.
Latching on to our paychecks. Don't you see?
I'm gonna go and put...
Okay, this is getting a little too political, I think.
Alrighty,
almost
anyway.
like magnets.
Anyway, guys, hello. So
at the start.
Yeah, that was holy shit.
I'm talking about magnets.
Anyway, gentlemen,
you know what's not magnetic? Actual paychecks.
That is a good point. Unless you put like a quarter on it.
Well, quarters aren't magnetic either. There's no iron in those things.
Anyway, gentlemen.
Okay.
Anyway, so how have you guys been lately?
I've been just splendid, my friend.
Did you already start the podcast?
Yeah, we're starting just now.
Yes, we're live now.
Amazing.
Okay.
Alright, yeah.
Well, sorry, I'm just not in very good humor right now.
That's fine.
He looks bananas.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah, exactly.
If you don't feel like talking very much, you're fine. Just your presence is enough sometimes.
Yeah, that's all we need. We need your input for this.
Off, by the way.
We need your But anyway, so how's everyone's week been so far since the last cast?
Pretty good. I'm moving back into my apartment this middle of this week, so about 2 days.
That's good to hear.
Like y'all know, I've been picking up a lot of random like indie games and trying them out.
That's good to hear.
Nothing too much has been different for me. Just playing the same old.
Same.
I've been playing.
You may want to scooch my name over. Just saying.
Oh. Sure, give me a...
Still missing Halo Infinite.
There you go.
But and this is now we're now doing a podcast after you've fully tested the pre-flight. How was that?
We talked about this in the main We Know Vidya podcast.
But remember, this is a separate thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, very good actually. I was color me impressed. It actually, had a lot of the atmosphere still there from old Halos, and it was overall a great experience. Like, of course, it's a not really an alpha, not really a beta, kind of somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of stuff that could be definitely be improved upon, but
Oh, the game.
overall, I thought it was
That's all.
fantastic.
One
And
question.
I think the majority of the people who played it echo the same sentiment.
Like, a video that I ran
have a
across
question.
today?
What's that?
What shade of hue is impressed?
Probably a
I'd
nice
say a
magenta.
pretty light blue.
A nice
Magellan.
magenta.
Yeah, it's Magellan.
I guess.
Magellan?
something like
That's
Yeah,
a dude.
Magellan.
That's a dude, bro.
Magellan's a lot
Magellan from
cooler
One
than
Piece?
Justin Bieber.
Magellan
always shitting
from
on the
Ferdinand
toilet.
Magellan, the circumnavigator of the earth.
But
The
I actually saw a
circumnavigator
The
video.
of
One
the
Piece
toilet.
character?
Apparently, the AI
Yes.
in Halo Infinite is programmed to teabag.
They are in
He's
Halo
a-
2 as well.
This
That's
robot is
amazing.
trained to fuck your mouth.
Yes.
Doing your mom.
Yeah, ODST bots don't fuck around. We didn't get to encounter Spartan bots, but oh Jesus Christ, I don't want to know how that's like.
Will Craig be okay though?
Because there's 3 difficulties. Yeah, that's uncertain as of right now. We don't know.
I hope he is.
His status is unknown.
Craig was murdered in Miami.
No.
Scrappy Doo was found dead in Miami, bro.
Fuck
Pour one out
Scrappy-Doo,
for
though.
Craig.
But yeah, my week's been
Pouring out for
my
homie,
week's been
dude.
mostly basic. I just mostly been playing mostly games in general. Mostly been playing more Mario Golf. Went to a weekly, got my ass kicked, and I decided to read something this week.
I can't believe that.
I think we all did, didn't we?
Yeah, we all did. Which we're gonna get into that in a bit. We're
Of
gonna
course.
we're gonna get into that in a bit for sure. Let's give everyone an idea. We decided to read this book right here, but we'll get to that in a bit. Oh, we'll
Funny
get
little
into that in a bit.
Yes.
But first, let's talk about the enigmatic author of it. Let's talk about our good old friend.
Very eccentric man.
Let's talk about good
He's
old.
like the closest thing to a living drill.
Let's get around to talking.
I don't know about that. I'd say Drill's a little more based than this person.
They drilled that.
Because at least Drill's funny.
Oh, man.
Wait, that's not it.
Hmm.
Hang on. Give
Oh,
me
no.
a second. I gotta
This guy's
find out.
pretty-
What was the
Oh.
image I had for that?
Was it the one I
But
made?
not by his own doing.
No, okay, found it. Behold this specimen right here. Bob Chipman, if you will.
The Giga Chad.
And a specimen
look-
he is. Look at that hunk of
Look
man.
at, look at
Describe
that. Look at
that.
this. Look at this image of peak male performance.
I was about to say, you
Yes.
might not like it, but this is what peak male performance looks like.
That's what I was thinking too, but I didn't say anything.
But yeah, let's just leave that image right here.
Yeah,
Alright.
just cover us up.
Let's leave that image right here for now.
Thank you.
Like in the corner.
Oh, what image did you put on the screen?
Captain and MovieBob.
Oh,
yeah,
Like
yeah.
just
Like-
that way
like
they get an
I'm-
idea what MovieBob looks like. He's
Like, I'm watching your stream on Twitch, but you forgot to stream your thing to voice chat.
oh my, you mean
Oh,
my
I'm watching the
Yeah.
Twitch stream.
yeah. I told everyone to watch the Twitch stream.
But remember, there is a slight delay if they want to see more just immediate.
Well, but we're just
We're
adding
breaking
pictures.
the fourth wall too much.
I'm the moderator.
There is no fourth wall.
Die. But anyway,
God, Jesse
Die.
right here.
MovieBob
There is no fourth wall.
Anyway, as we were saying, MovieBob.
Exerting your privilege over time. Let's go.
Anyway, MovieBob
Let's go,
is.
gamers.
Anyway, MovieBob is known for being, well, a movie reviewer. And I've decided to watch a few of his reviews recently just to because we mainly read the book that he wrote. And I'll say, as far as a movie reviewer goes, he's just averagely competent, really.
That's a fat citation needed calling him a reviewer.
Well, he is.
Well, he is.
Like
He-
it or not.
When it comes to movies,
Right
he
next
does
to that.
genuine reviews for what they're worth.
Pretty true. True, and yeah, that's pretty true.
Like, he's a mildly competent reviewer for what it's worth. He knows about cinematography for the most part. He
I
knows
mean, he went to
about,
college for film, so I mean, I would imagine he'd know a thing or two.
pretty much he has some knowledge on films, and pretty much he can review a film all right. And he's very famous for his Pixels review, where he was infamously negative to that movie, and almost justifiably so, because Pixels is, well, trash.
Pixels is terrible, yeah.
Yeah.
Poopy.
Hoping.
And for what it's worth, he's very notable for merely saying some stuff about movies. Like, he refused to review the Emoji Movie because he didn't really find it that bad. Like, he said it was bad, but not the end of cinema like many people were proclaiming it to be, which I have to agree with that sentiment, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
It was terrible.
The
Don't
Emoji
get me
Movie
wrong,
is
but it wasn't
bad.
like
it's not
god
a good
awful.
movie.
Like, oh no, I cannot just bear myself
Honestly,
to watch this any
I want
longer.
to say this about the Emoji Movie, which I feel like we could discuss more when it comes to bad animated movies, but I feel like the Emoji Movie is far from the worst animated movie out there.
Oh yeah.
Like, honestly, I would argue Norm of the North is worse.
Norm of the North is fucking
wait,
terrible.
hey, wait. I have an idea though. We should all get like a bunch of Norm of the North fans together and call ourselves normies.
The look on the McDonald's workers' faces will be priceless.
Yes, exactly.
We're gonna have a cult fault.
We're all gonna order the Fortnite burger.
We gotta have
We're
a
gonna
whole.
all order the normie burger.
We gotta have
The Norm burger.
We gotta have a
Yeah,
cult
like-
of Norm of the North
like
fans.
The problem is, like, if for some reason, like,
No.
thanks to Rebel Taxi bringing up
dang
that
it.
there was some dude who had like a warrant out for his arrest because he like whacked it during the Emoji Movie. It literally, there was a news story about a guy called the Emoji Movie masturbator.
What the fuck? What?
I'm not kidding. There's literally like
What
a
in
news
the
footage of
actual
dude, like,
goddamn
leaving
There are
immediately after
wild
doing it.
style fans out there,
Oh, hey,
okay?
Mr. Gunn.
Like I'm not kidding. Like literally, like Rebel Taxi.
Well,
talked
Wild
about it
Style
at
is
the
from
end
the
of
Lego
review of
Movie.
it.
Okay, well, whatever their ripoff of her.
The
is,
ripoff was called Jailbreak.
Jailbreak.
There.
Yeah.
But
They're
anyway,
allowed jailbreak.
anyway, we're
fans.
getting anyway, guys. Let's get back to Bob
Maybe the
Chipman.
reason why. Maybe the
We're
reason why
getting
Bob
off
refused
topic.
to.
Guys,
refused to elaborate.
let's seriously get back to Bob
I'm
Chipman.
talking about Bob.
Robert.
I tried to say that maybe the reason why he didn't want to elaborate any further is because if somebody brought that up to him, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I can kind of see it."
But anyway, Bob is also, though, outside of that, though, he's very infamous for fringe political opinions, also. Case
Like
in
my
point, right
That
here.
fringe is putting it lightly.
Let's take a look
Yeah.
at this one tweet he made. Where he pretty much is in support of a very discredited scientific practice called eugenics.
You may or may not have heard of it.
The Eugenics War from 1990. That's
What?
the only Star Trek reference you will ever get out of me.
And here's his other tweet. Actually, no, wait, let's wait for that one.
Really quick, guys, y'all enjoy. I'll be moderating chat, but I gotta go.
Or another thing right here. E3 exhibitors, now is probably a good time to go through your shooter presentations and ask, is any of this going to feel in poor taste? So he goes full moral guardian there.
Oh my, yeah, wow.
Or, let's see what else we got here.
Tweets are fun. No, they're
Oh
not.
yeah,
They're-
let's not forget this other glorious image where he has told someone to grow up, and someone attaches to this one Mario
Yeah,
picture
start.
of him with him doing a Mario cosplay.
He's doing the Mario.
I could see him doing that every day, honestly. Or let's
That's like praying to the east like 5 times a day. He has to do the Mario 5 times a day.
all right.
it's like his prayer to Mecca.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
We gotta get to the mosque.
Oh my god.
Get to the mosque,
Or-
Luigi.
Let's not forget this one thing he just randomly said where someone asked, because someone, like, you know how on Twitter they do the whole, hey, can you eat all this food in one go? And MovieBob decides to pop in going, that's a fairly small amount of McDonald's for an average sized person, I'd say. The main reason fast food cooks so fast and lasts so short is that there isn't much density to it. I wouldn't want to eat a double helping of McNuggets in that time frame. but I could
Not
easily-
much density to
And
it.
look at how much. There's 4 double quarter pounders in there, 2 sets of extremely large French fries. I think there's 40 McNuggets and 4 Cokes in that thing.
Like, I'll be real.
Honestly, I don't
I-
really care about people's eating habits, but
No, that's
yeah,
not his eating habits. That's him saying that that's not a lot of food. But that's like, how is
Yeah,
that
that's
not a lot of
That
food?
is a lot of food,
Yeah.
though.
Okay, I'm gonna be real here. Okay, I kinda understand what he's talking about with the density thing, because really these aren't that heavy. But
Yeah.
like,
They're not heavy, but they're
Yes.
heavy, and as in like they make you feel like shit.
Yeah.
well, okay, but no, like let me finish.
let me
Okay,
finish.
but like at the same time though, it doesn't look like a lot, but then
Are
you
you
eat it, and
kidding
you're
me?
like, oh, this is way too much.
Let's see.
I'm
There's
speaking
another.
as someone who has ordered too much McDonald's before.
Did I seriously not? Oh, I forgot to put one tweet in here. Hang on, because let's not forget he's one of it. Because MovieBob's also a faux intellectual alongside fringe political opinions as well. Let me go and add more real quick. But MovieBob has a very low tolerance for people that have differing opinions than him. And, you know, there are certain people I would at least argue are not worth discussing, because some people, you know, for better or for worse... Actually, that's not the one I meant to put in here.
Oh yeah.
No, no. There's a better one. There's a better one. I forgot I had two of them with the same name, with more replies. There we go. I wouldn't fix it. 2019. I was supposed to be on a starship by now, conversing with intelligent robots. Instead, we're all here on this fucking rock, wondering how to placate the white working class. I'll never forgive the troglodytes who stole the future I earned to prolong their worthless existence.
Because look, he served 10 years in the console wars. You respect this veteran.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
I'm out of patience. There's no worth. No, I'm not finished reading this. And someone goes, progress isn't really an upward climb, sadly. And it's like, that's kind of how it is. Like, he's basically saying, dude, you are expecting unrealistic expectations of space travel at that point.
Yeah, honestly, like we're nowhere near, and
we're nowhere near like fucking Star Trek levels of space travel. Let's be real here.
Yeah, like thing is, like people like to shit on the billionaires for going to space, but like that's at least proving that like space travel is getting somewhere.
Yeah, it's proving space travel is getting somewhere, but even then, it's like we can only go up to space. Yeah, we've been able to.
Yeah, we can go to zero gravity, but that's about it. We've gone to the moon and landed there, came back, but that's the farthest we've gone.
And even then, that costs a lot of money to actually do, too.
Yes, a shit ton of money. The only reason that ever happened was because of the Cold War.
Well, yeah, we felt like doing the space war instead of nuking everyone to oblivion.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Which was a better idea, let's be real here.
Anyway,
true.
Let's continue with what his response is, and also the reason why I don't feel bad for shitting on him at all right here.
I'm out of patience. There's no worth in the backward people. They could only be Thanos from existence tomorrow, and we'd not lose a single person of value or decency. There is no separation on shades between the ignorant and the wicked.
Oh, Mr. Gunn, funny you say that. I was actually about the moon landing. I was actually considering at one point writing a musical about how the moon landing was fake. That's all I had to say about that.
And there's one more movie.
The moon landing was fake. That's stupid. You believe in the moon?
The moon isn't real.
You believe
no, of course not. That's a cardboard cutout up there.
The Earth is flat, clearly, guys.
Yeah, flat earthers, let's go.
Do
you have fucking Street Fighter Rainbow footage on right now?
Yeah, that's Koryu gameplay.
Where my flatties at? Come on, let's go, flatties.
Is that,
flatties.
Was that about it? No, there's got to be one more MovieBob tweet I had saved, because there's just like MovieBob's bullshit is just ridiculous. Like, there's got to be one more.
Like, I just want to point out my whole ironic thing about magnets and their place in this. That's an ironic political take. These all aren't, and they're more fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah, let's not forget his iconic.
Yes.
Let's all not forget his iconic one right here.
Yeah.
Oh
let's
no.
really not forget this one. I still can't get over the fact that he goes. Oh yeah, I believe I couldn't find.
Oh my god.
Oh, you didn't see that? Oh, because I talked about this earlier, but just a refresher. MovieBob supports eugenics.
Yeah. By the way,
man, did he drop the hard R?
No. We had to censor that one because Izon's backwards is a no word on Twitch. Izon.
Yeah, it's a different word.
Spell Izon backwards, and you'll see what we mean.
Oh, I see. Hold on.
They were in control from 1939 to 1945. To give you a time period.
MovieBob says 1945. That's one of my favorite NES games.
It's 1943, and that is a good shooter.
Yeah, fair enough.
But anyway, as I was saying, MovieBob also... I recall one time he also said they should bring back intelligence tests for voting and not knowing why they were discontinued.
Yeah.
Because intelligence tests were extremely
literacy tests?
Racist? No, intelligence
literacy
tests.
tests.
No, he phrased it as intelligence tests.
Yes, they're literacy tests, what he was talking about, but he doesn't know why they were not instated.
Yeah,
and it's all because he hates the hard right. But MovieBob comes off, but he supports eugenics, though, which is a hard right ideology.
If you were to put this man on a political compass, it would just be one giant question mark.
Yeah, because it's like he's a weird mix of far left and far right.
Far right. No one knows what the fuck he's talking about half the time. I'm sure he does.
I just want to say, I feel like MovieBob is a good example of a person where their politics begin and end.
Oh, by the way, if MovieBob's watching this right now, hi, MovieBob.
Hi, MovieBob. Your review sucks.
Hi, MovieBob. I will fight you in real life.
MovieBob
square up.
The odds of him actually watching this, though.
I know, that's the joke.
I can see MovieBob totally watching this, really. But anyway. Anyway. You guys may have noticed that we have... Oh, let's not forget one more thing that MovieBob also had done. MovieBob likes to take pictures with various females at cons. Most notably, there's a picture floating around with him and very controversial feminist Anita Sarkeesian floating around. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about... Not this one. We're going to be talking about this one of him and Lindsay Ellis floating around.
Oh, yes.
For the record, there's nothing wrong taking pictures with cosplayers at cons, by the way.
Well, it's not a cosplay.
As long as it's consensual.
No, Lindsay Ellis is a reviewer. She was known as the Nostalgic Chick before she broke off from Channel Awesome. But she was talking about something about... But anyway, she's talking about uncovering a conspiracy of people being friends with their peers. And MovieBob goes, I, for one, am positively shocked. And look at this selfie right here with him and Lindsay Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look the best. It kind of looks a little off, but you can tell it's just simply, hey, it's a simple
He's not
selfie.
looking at the camera.
And she decides to set the record straight with him once and for all. This is honestly really inappropriate and creepy, dude. A selfie at a con several years ago does not mean we are friends. Also, the fact that I have soft blocked you like 6 times and you always refollow is creepy. Take the hint and please leave me alone. And as a result, if anyone was wondering, well, allow me to explain one thing now for good. This is why... Give me a damn second, I gotta find the image. But it shouldn't take too long.
You don't want to mess with a gamer. They have 2 sides.
Okay, I found it. This is why this was the image for a little while. Ah, damn it, this fucking thing is too big. This is why this image right here was my waiting screen. MovieBob thinks to himself, dearest Peach, I could have been your Mario. Now I must be your Bowser.
Yo.
Yeah, like, seriously. That dude needs to get over himself.
It's like, he got soft blocked 6 times. Yeah, how pathetic.
How the fuck do you get soft blocked 6 times and still not get the hint?
It's more like not soft block at that point.
It's like... I like how she did have to call him out for good, though.
Yeah.
But anyway, you guys may have also noticed that we have Mario footage in the B-roll, too.
It's playing right now.
Yeah, Mario 3 B-roll, in fact. Well, MovieBob, as we can tell by this one image, yes, this one image right here specifically, which I'm going to replace the Captain N with. MovieBob likes Mario a lot.
He really likes Mario.
So much so that he wrote a movie pitch, a hypothetical movie pitch a little while back. Because Mario has not had good movie track records, let's be real here. Like, there was that one anime from 1987 that's not really that remarkable, and then there was the live-action movie from 1993 that is, at best, so bad it's good. And he decides to write a movie pitch to fix that because, you know, they're making an animated Mario movie.
Yeah.
And he would rather it be live-action, which I personally think is fucking stupid.
Honestly, yeah.
Mario is a franchise that if they were to make it a live-action movie, it'd still mostly be CGI, so might as well just make it animated.
Yeah, honestly.
So, and here's how he decided. And his hypothetical pitch, in a 25 words or less pitch, as he describes right here, he describes it as Lord of the Rings meets 21 Jump Street, fantasy adventure but with relatable, wisecracking modern buddies instead of British dwarves or whatever.
Yeah, British dwarves or whatever. Taking absolutely no heed to how much world building goes into Lord of the Rings.
Well, I mean, it is supposed to be like
yeah, and he also has a video on this, which is kind of doesn't go into the detail of this one blog post, which I did rewatch that on the way to work today because I just needed something to kill time on the way to work, and it just helped familiarize myself. He was saying, he was describing the plot of Lord of the Rings as just taking this ring to be destroyed and split across 3 separate movies. And it's like, dude, Lord of the Rings was 3 books originally. And
that's 3 whole books.
It's 3 whole books, and the whole thing of it being just simply
and each movie is one of the books.
Yeah, and not only that, it's like, he grossly oversimplified the plot to Lord of the Rings. It's like, well, how come they can't just do a video game plot like that? It's like, dude, old school video games had next to no plot, though.
They weren't made to have a plot. They were made to,
they were made to be a fun video game.
Or like the derivatives of coin guzzlers of the arcades.
Yeah, whereas like Lord of the Rings was more about like an adventure throughout a world.
Yeah, and for the record, for the 25 words or less pitch, that's fine to just simplify it like that. That's kind of the point of it. But to just boil it down is like, well, Lord of the Rings has like a simple end goal. Why can't video games do it? Well, this is because these are two different fucking mediums. One was definitely made with a story in mind. Mario Brothers was really not made with a story in mind.
Yeah, totally. Totally not. Not even remotely. And he describes his elevator pitch as Lord of the Rings meets 21 Jump Street by way of Ghostbusters, which I don't even know what that fucking means. Yeah. Like, what does by way of Ghostbusters mean?
By way, the Ghostbusters send it to 21 Jump Street is what he means.
And also, I love how it's Lord of the Rings meets 21 Jump Street. Like, what the fuck does 21 Jump Street have to do with this?
I assume it's.
And if you read about
like,
it,
I think he's trying to talk about like the buddy cop dynamic, but it's like he could have used anything. Like I would have laughed my ass off harder if he described it as Lord of the Rings meets Lethal Weapon.
Honestly, yes.
Like
that would be funnier, yeah.
21 Jump Lord of the Rings meets Lethal Weapon. Just have Mario say, "I'm getting too old for this shit."
Isn't that the movie where the guy eats like the dog biscuits?
Yes, that's Lethal Weapon.
Okay, yes. Luigi eating dog biscuits.
Or like, but anyway, and the storyline long version. So basically he describes it using the famous Mario and Luigi are from Brooklyn backstory that has not been official like ever. It was only used in the cartoons, I want to say, and the live action movie.
And Mario Bros. Like the original arcade game.
Well, I think that was probably written by the American localizers too, like kind of like how, because remember back in the 80s and 90s for younger viewers like us, back then American localizers were encouraged to play fast and loose with products a lot of times.
Oh right, yeah.
Which is kind of what, because a lot of times Japanese developers either never gave them the whole story or gave them something that was just pretty much in garbled English. Okay, so they kind of had to make what they could out of anything.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually, yeah.
Like, for one thing, if you were to ever read the original Mega Man manual for the NES, a lot of it feels so different than what it would be nowadays. Like, it describes Dr. Wily and Dr. Light as assistants, even though at best in the actual Mega Man lore, Wily was his colleague in college, but that was it. But they never were, like, officially lab assistants, like, ever. Yeah, and they describe the city that it takes place in as Monsteropolis.
Why didn't they go with that?
But anyway, that's like minor. And then like let's also talk about like how the original Sonic lore was, where there was the whole Mobius bullshit.
Oh yeah.
And like Sonic lore was completely different. But that's just to give you guys some
lore is always fucked up.
And that's just to give you guys some
even the canon writers don't know what's canon and what's not.
Yeah. But basically Mario was probably the same way. And the thing was originally with Mario, and the thing with original Mario and Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong were just simple arcade games, obviously.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really much, like this was before the idea of the Mushroom Kingdom was fully settled. Until a little game called Super Mario Brothers came out. Yep. Which leads us to his movie pitch. So he's still stuck in the whole movie Mario is from Brooklyn, which we'll definitely get back into that when we get to the book. So anyway, remember that in mind. Remember that he's still stuck on Mario and Luigi are from Brooklyn.
Yes.
But yeah, he describes as like, in this, Mario is basically the kind of guy that longs for adventure, but he has to put it on hold to take over a family business, whereas Luigi doesn't really want to be adventurous. He wants to be just simply, he's content with his life as a plumber. All in all, I'll say so far, that's not a bad concept for a movie, really.
Yeah,
it's cliche, but it works. It works.
I want to interject. That is actually kind of the premise of the Mario Bros. OVA.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like Mario, he yearned for a life of adventure, whereas like Luigi, he just wanted to work in their fix-it shop.
And that's kind of their general characterization anyway. Luigi's more cowardly, Mario's more outgoing.
Yeah.
So it's getting the job done so far.
Yep.
However, he decides because you know how in the movie in the 1993 movie there's the whole Mario and Luigi Mario thing.
Yep.
He decides to double down on that and say the family's Americanized surname is Mario, owing up to an Ellis Island foul-up of Marionetti that got their ancestor officially named Mario, a naming tradition that has carried on in honor of firstborns. So, like, every firstborn in apparently Mario's family is always named Mario.
That is so, like...
That sounds like this, you know, like how the Zelda lore has it, where it's like in reference to the tragedy of like the Zelda from Zelda 2, like every princess is named after the Zelda that was put under the enchanted sleeping spell. It sounds like that, but it's just dumb.
Yeah, honestly, like the whole thing, it sounds like giving like...
It's just putting too much effort into just something that's not even remotely canon.
Yeah. Like there's no fucking point. It's just like making something overly complicated.
It's a detail no one asked for.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't even help like the story at all.
Anyway, in this story, Luigi finds Mario following a mysterious creature to a cave that looks like some kind of ancient temple, and they vanished into a pool of water that seems to lead to a light source. And they fall and spit out of a huge green pipe that leads them to the Mushroom Kingdom. And he writes, think Japanese Brother Grimm hybrid Oz, see below for details, where they encounter hostile creatures and discover they have superhuman powers that they gained from the native nature. And yes, the fire flowers make their clothes change color, like in the games.
So, like, he's trying to do, like, a Superman thing here, but, like, also, but, like, which I guess is, if you were so fetishistic on making it Brooklyn, I guess that's what you'd have to do.
And it's just like... And then basically they encounter a upright, smarter creature that steals their wrench, and they're clutching some kind of ancient relic. And then a troop of toads that are mushroom soldiers end up like, you know, guiding them to the castle. And they decide, and they end up encountering Princess Peach. I love how MovieBob writes, the kingdom's leader who, alongside being beautiful, seems to calm all around her their very aura, more like a mystic being than a monarch. Okay, first off, Peach is not Rosalina, so I don't know why he's trying to make Peach like this godlike figure, when that's not even, like, remotely correct.
Right.
Like, she definitely has magic powers for what it's worth, like I said in the original Super Mario Brothers manual.
Yeah.
Because that's why Bowser kidnapped her, but it's kind of like, dude, she's not Rosalina. She's not, like, a literal god.
Right. And like, I mean, you also have, like, stuff like Mario Superstar Saga, which does use, like, magical aspects of her, but yeah, like...
But it's more
Mario
like her voice...
has her as a playable character.
It was more like the villain
magic.
of that game needed her voice to like, activate a Doomsday device, though.
Yeah. Which, yeah, but anyway,
But I don't think he was that smart to think of that.
Yeah, honestly. Because it's not a, it's not a canon Mario game according to him, which is all the adventure ones, I guess.
Anyway, they have a conversation with Peach, and they learn the facts of the situation, that the Mushrooms and Koopas have been at war for centuries, and no one remembers why they started the fight, but they're unable to stop as the Koopas end up wanting the Mushrooms' land and resources. And within the current generation, the Koopas pretty much have the upper hand in this fight. Essentially, as they have Bowser, who's a very smart, intelligent Koopa at that point, and has industrialized his people and are using the airships and shit.
I mean, I guess it's cool to use the
And they're trying to ally themselves with the Yoshis to take down the Koopas.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, this just sounds like some stupid shit I'd come up with.
Oh, have you not read this yet, Dustin?
No, I have.
We read this, but it's like we're just remembering how stupid this is.
All of it is just completely off the rails and insane.
Like the whole, we have to ally ourselves with the Yoshis. Like, we make like these war terms in Mario. It just always sounds so fucking stupid.
Anyway,
know.
also, Luigi doesn't want any part in this and wants to leave, and Mario reluctantly agrees to do so with Luigi until he notices Peach starting to cry, and as a result, when she cries, it starts to rain. So he's taking that thing from Super Princess Peach, you know, where she can use her emotions to control the environment? And it's like, I think the only reason that happened in Super Princess Peach was due to some bullshit with the Vibe Scepter. I don't entirely know. I could be wrong on this because I haven't actually played Super Princess Peach.
What's the Vibe Scepter?
The Vibe Scepter. The Vibe Scepter is supposed to be like something that controls the land or something.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really don't know because I never actually played Super Princess Peach.
I never prayed to Peach.
Oh god.
Never
Well, I haven't.
prayed.
I'm pretty sure MovieBob has.
Oh, 100%.
And it's like.
Like, I haven't played the game, but
pray
from what,
to Peach every day.
but from what I've heard, the game's good.
But anyway, like, yeah, so they gave the stupid like emotion powers.
Yeah, which, and anyway, but they don't justify it beyond like just simply she's magical. However, by night, a group of Shy Guys, which they describe as Bowser's ninjas, ends up kidnapping Peach, seemingly spelling doom for the kingdom, as MovieBob states.
Oh fuck! Code Orange! Code Orange!
Luigi is reluctant to save the princess, but Mario appeals to their shared sense of honor by stating, it's an Italian thing and it's a Brooklyn thing, which are the arc words of the film.
That is such a. Those are such lazy arc words.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's like...
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like it's such lazy arc words entirely, I agree.
Like it's like it's like what people use for a fucking parody of these, honestly.
Honestly, I would love there to be like a title drop saying we are the Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
We
it's a
really
Brooklyn
are the
thing.
Super Marios.
I would love that, honestly, just a cheesy title drop like that.
Yeah.
Boy, Ellie, we sure are the Last of Us.
Yes. Now
Well,
that I have
Cortana,
gained
this sure
the
is the
power
Halo
of the
ring.
Temenigru, I shall become the Last of Us 2.
Why, yes, Justice, I am, in fact, Guilty Gear for the PlayStation.
Why, yes, Cortana, we are in fact on Halo.
Boy, Ryu, this is truly Marvel versus Capcom, am I right?
This is getting out of hand.
The Rock of the Blood Edge, it appears we are at Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger.
Well, the Blaze Blue, they do say Blaze Blue activate because the Blaze Blue is like the artifact of Doom.
Yeah, but I mean that also works for Halo though.
Kyo, you are officially the king of fighters.
Halo is an
98.
artifact of Doom, you are correct.
Anyway,
Ultimate
Peach is taken.
dream.
Anyway, Peach is simply taken through warp zones, and they encounter Bowser and his scheming wizard advisor Kamek. And she's a prisoner. Bowser, when she's allowed to speak to Bowser, she finds out that Bowser is essentially surprisingly intelligent, if not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. He doesn't exactly share Kamek's eagerness for bloodshed, but he will conquer the Mushroom Kingdom if that's exactly what it takes. Essentially, he views it as his only option.
Kamek is one of the most feared dictators.
Whereas Kamek is basically, as MovieBob's describing Kamek as like the Starscream-esque figure.
Right. Like,
Bruh.
wait, like, that's quite the upgrade.
Even
I
though
suppose.
Kamek in lore is like extremely loyal to Bowser to the point that he was his caretaker when he was a baby.
That's
Yeah.
Wizardheimer.
In fact, it's like a big thing that starts Yoshi Island's plot is that Kamek sees in the future and sees Mario and Luigi constantly defeating Bowser, that he schemes to kidnap them before like the stork can deliver them to the parents.
Yeah.
Just so that way Bowser never gets defeated.
But to be fair, with that little plot point, to be fair to MovieBob, Super Mario World 2 did break him. More on that later.
We'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
So he probably is just using the interpretation from Galaxy, even though Kamek only appears briefly in that to like knock Mario off the ship.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
this makes me want- Anyway, let's get back to reading this, because this is just ridiculous. Anyway, so Mario and Luigi are venturing through the kingdom, encountering enemies and hazards, and they work as a team. Their disagreements cause them to effectively, start to cause more conflict. However, back at the castle, Toad and Toadette are essentially preparing for battle and are arming up the forces.
Oh no, Toadsworth? That's bullshit.
Oh no.
No, Toads. There's no Pianzas. Man, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll
Don't
get
get
to
any ideas, Jesse.
We'll get to that when we play Sunshine, because I have a lot to say about them.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too.
as a choice. I 100% in Sunshine and 3D All Stars. Yeah, I've got some
I am
choice
not
words about it.
100%ing that game. I fucking hate those platform levels so much. Especially with
The
the
majority of the game is fine, but there are certain levels that are just unbearable.
fucking Sunshine's difficulty is obnoxious at points.
Yeah,
it
it
really
doesn't
is.
have a curve. It's just kind of like
It
random
just goes all over
spikes
the
just
place.
out of nowhere.
Like,
Random
this is coming from
bullcrap,
someone
go.
this is coming from someone that's beaten Jak 2 several times. Like, a lot of people say Jak 2 is hard, but I have actually had a lot easier time with Jak 2's difficulty than I have with fucking Mario Sunshine.
I 100% in Sunshine and 3D All Stars. That was distinctly not worth my time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't get it, and like also we're getting off topic here, but it's like I just want to say fuck those platform levels with the do 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 do.
Yeah, those are, you can tell those are like from demo levels and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are the worst.
Yeah, they are. But anyway, so
But anyway.
like they had their arguments.
Anyway,
Mario
they had their
and Luigi
argument,
fight shirtless
and-
in the rain.
And they were able to rescue the Yoshi egg. And amid the fighting, though, Luigi's rage at Mario's obsession with adventure and Mario's viewing of Luigi as a coward finally split them both up for a little while. And they nearly come to blows, even so they start fighting shirtless in the rain. That's not actually in the shirtless in the rain's not in the pitch, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
But they are stopped when the egg hatches to reveal Yoshi. And
Wait,
it appears to understand English, even though it only says Yoshi. He doesn't call Luigi Mama. This is fucking fake ass Mario fan.
This is bullshit.
Fake ass Mario fan. He's supposed to call Luigi Mama.
SMH, bro.
And also, weren't they supposed to be having
Shaking
like, an
my
alliance
head.
with the Yoshis?
SMH shaking my head.
Like earlier, he said they like the Toads had an alliance with the Yoshis because they were getting fucked from their flank.
Anyway,
Oh,
so
Reword that or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
you missed it.
Bowser knows that allowing. Anyway, so essentially, Kamek is experimenting on Peach to unlock the legendary power of her bloodline. So we're literally having probably like actual electro torture here, like from fucking Metal Gear Solid.
Alright, now it's time
Erotic
for you to try the
electrostimulation.
vibe rod on you.
But Bowser does not
Cock
want to
and
torture
ball
her.
torture.
Kamek does not share this reluctance, though. And apparently the relic that they have is taken from the war... anyway, the relic they have allows them to create an ice flower.
Mm.
And we also see Kamek performing magical experiments on the glove taken from Luigi.
Why bother with the ice flower though when the penguin suit's so much better?
Well, it's more the liquid that they got from the fucking relic causes opposites to happen.
Oh, so it's opposite day.
So it's more like the ice flower isn't the only thing that it can create, but rather it can alter stuff. Anyway, Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi work out that Yoshi's people are not far from where they are and will rally the mushroom's cause if asked. The decision is made. Mario will press on to Bowser's
mushrooms.
kingdom. Luigi will take Yoshi to his home. The brothers' apology is unspoken, as they vow to see each other at the end one way or another.
Yeah, don't worry. Luigi will just get the warp whistle. It'll be cool.
Anyway, Kamek decides to go to Peach without Bowser's permission and reveals that the palace was built to Bowser's proportions. And Kamek can appear via secret through passages too small for Bowser. And he also reveals that he knows the secret of how Peach's powers actually work, as her emotions are apparently tied to the very nature of the Mushroom Kingdom itself, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And has developed a machine that will forcibly draw reactions from her that can be used to essentially just cause, like, the perfect storm. Essentially think like Team Aqua, Team Magma shit here.
She'll be the storm that is approaching.
Like, this is, like, that can cause, like, just straight up, like, full on, pretty much just total war. Like, earthquakes, fire, everything.
You can cause Mortal Kombat Armageddon.
Yeah.
Bruh.
However, Bowser would rather insist that they at least try using a relic to copy the experiment, but it's clear Kamek would rather just torture the real deal. And when he departs, Peach finally loses her composure and sobs, which kicks up a raging rainstorm over the Mushroom Kingdom.
He didn't mention that Peach's dress is like ripped like to shreds at this point, but
I don't think it's mentioned there, but I'm pretty sure it probably is. Let's be real
it's
here.
implied.
MovieBob would totally write that in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
MovieBob would totally write that, or probably have her like in like some sort of slave Leia-esque bikini.
Yeah.
Actually, more likely with that one, MovieBob would totally do that.
Yeah. Totally. Absolutely.
She's also probably hanging from the wall too, but like that's just a hunch.
Yeah.
Either that or she's leashed around Bowser.
MovieBob's like, God, I wish that were me.
MovieBob is just writing this, and Miyamoto's just like, dude, what the fuck are you... It's like, MovieBob, why do you have an erection?
Why are you writing this with one hand?
You don't know. You don't know this is part of the plot. Clearly, this is plot critical. MovieBob, why is there a pillow fight scene between Peach and Daisy? Anyway, Mario's lonely journey to Bowser's Kingdom, however, is very arduous and hard fought, and he begins to lose his idea of adventure, and comes to admit that Luigi has a point. However, Luigi's journey with Yoshi allows him to appreciate adventure instead, and the Yoshis agree to help them out. However, Kamek uses the potion derived from the relic on a restrained Peach, which causes the magical birth of a goth-looking Peach. Evil Peach. Oh,
fucking course he wants the big titty goth Peach.
Yeah. Who shrieks and tears about the lab like an animal, frightening Peach, and even Bowser's Kamek tries to force her into the emotion-manipulating machine, which fails to work. So the relic didn't copy Peach's power properly. So Kamek blasts the clone in a vapor, and gleefully informs Bowser that they have now no choice but to torture Peach to, destroy the kingdom.
Yay,
and
torture.
Bowser is unmoved.
Cock and dick balls.
However, Bowser agrees reluctantly, but he definitely angrily reprimands Kamek to know his place, and that he's not a puppet master. Even if he created Bowser.
He created Bowser?
I think. It just mentioned that in the thing, and it's like... I love what Rivers Lincoln just wrote here. He described it as dollar store Shadow Queen. Yeah, pretty much.
It's literally like it's literally like those art pieces that people make of like Peach as like the Shadow Queen, except those are actually pretty well drawn, whereas this is pretty shittily written.
Oh yeah, this is like just bad. This is just bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Anyway, basically tremors happen and war happens between Toads and Koopa, and Mario manages to make his way to Bowser's castle. And Luigi and Yoshi just happen to arrive at Bowser's Kingdom as well. And they just in time to see Mario engage in a one-man war against the citizenry, soldiers, and creatures. Jumping, brick-smashing, fire flower blast, Mario fight scene for the ages, as he describes, even though it's probably going to look, like, really bad in actual... Like, it's probably going to look less like a Devil May Cry cutscene and more like just really shitty Gmod.
Just imagining all these Toads in the background just having to, like, amputate their fucking limbs and shit.
Just imagine, like, this Mario scene is describing to look like a really bad Devil May Cry cutscene, like just Mario single-handedly just beating up a bunch of Koopas with a pizza in his mouth.
What the fuck?
Okay,
I don't know why, but I envisioned, like, an entire, like full pie. I don't know why I didn't envision a slice.
Well, it's because I'm just referencing the opening scene that Devil May Cry 3, where, like, Dante kills the Prides in his office while having the pizza in his mouth.
Guess you could call it a pride parade.
Bruh.
Anyway, however, Bowser fights his way... Anyway, Mario fights his way to Bowser's castle until Kamek stops him and taunts both brothers with the glove and claims that he cracked the code of trans-dimensional irregularity before blasting them with magic from the wand. The result, their strength is now neutralized, and they're now normal in this world. So they're thrown in the dungeon, the sex dungeon, if you will.
Yeah. No, not the dungeon.
I like
Go to
the
hell
idea that
before
he
you
says.
die.
I like the idea that Bowser says exactly how he wrote it. Like Mario. I discovered the solution to trans-dimensional irregularity.
Just comic says that.
Like, what the fuck?
However, Mario and Luigi use their plumber's intuition to move along the thermal pipes between the walls of the castle to get out of the...
Out of the sex dungeon.
Yeah, to get out of the sex dungeon, because Luigi happened to
After
pop
a
in his wrench.
10-minute scene
and they'll plumb
where
their way
Kamek
out.
tortures Mario and Luigi shirtless, obviously.
They better be
Oh,
fighting
yeah.
shirtless in
That's
the
just
ring.
needed.
Yes.
Clearly.
So they find their way to Kamek's lab, where they find a dazed but not physically injured Peach. They go for the wand, angling that breaking it might restore the enhanced powers, but the wizard returns and a fight breaks out. Kamek easily fends the all-too-human plumbers with his magic, at one point attempting to drown Mario in the cauldron. Which, remember this little detail right here, everyone, because this is going to cause probably the best thing I've read from this.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
However, Peach gets angry, and the sky turns red with churning clouds and lightning that looks more like fire.
So she dragon installs, I see.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just instances.
Eyes blazing, Peach attacks Kamek with vengeful abandon and smashes his wand, causing the power zap back to Mario and Luigi, hoisting him over her head and throwing him out the window, seemingly to his death.
Mario dies in Super Mario Bros. Movie the first.
No, Kamek died.
That's
Oh, Kamek,
spoilers,
yeah.
bro. Jesus.
Kamek was thrown out the window.
Kamek did.
So we just see like Peach probably does like Soul's
Unfortunately, he is
Wild
dead,
Throw.
No cap.
I am honestly glad he is dead.
Anyway, so Luigi and them go to the vents with the various pressure valves, and we see various pipes and lava pools throughout the castle. And they boil, buckle, and bend. However, they're nearly about to win, but they're not just safe yet, as a deformed, monster-like duplicate of Mario busts from the cauldron, identifying itself as Wario. Mario sends Luigi and Peach to escape while he fends them off, and they proceed to fight, intercut with Luigi and Peach fleeing through the castle.
Why is that a fucking plot point?
Just
Wario, I came from your man juices.
Just Wario is Mario's shadow. Just
I
Wario.
flipped the W at the demo.
Wario
I
is
flipped
just
the M on my
Wario,
camera upside down.
Wario is just the fucking Mega
Wario.
Scott.
Destroy Mario.
Just fucking Wario is just born from Mario's like repressed emotions. He's just the fucking shadow. He's just
You
like
always wanted
he's
the
just
gold
Mario's
coin, didn't
heartless.
You always wanted the gold coin, didn't you, Mario?
No, you're not me. No.
Mario, I am a shadow. I am the true self,
Mario, I am God.
Kill
I
Mario.
turned myself
Your
into a
place,
persona,
what?
persona Wario.
Kill Mario.
What the fuck?
Kill what?
Like created Wario.
Yeah, so basically Wario fell in the cauldron and created Wario.
Yes.
Mario became Wario after falling into a cauldron, yes.
No, Mario has to fight Wario because Wario was born out of the cauldron.
Yeah.
Oh, it created a basically what is this? Basically just a clone.
It's basically Mario's
bad clone.
shadow.
Funny bad clone version.
It's just he might as well just call it the Nega Mario, just Nega Mario.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm playing the game.
Anyway, Mario, Luigi, and Anyway, Mario Wario still wrestling come crashing out of a balcony, landing right on top of the giant, right on top of Bowser, bouncing them to the ground where the fight continues until Mario kicks Wario into a lava pit. Oh, by the way, this is supposed to be live action, by the way, too. I want to toss that again just to make sure that we didn't say it before. This is supposed to be live action, so I can see this, having a budget that would make Endgame blush.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, the way he's describing this just seems like infeasible in live action, honestly.
We're fucking real. Like, this is insane. Like.
Anyway, so they defeat Bowser and, save the princess. However, they have a stinger where Kamek is waiting for them. Basically, they save the princess, save the day, end of the day.
Yeah. That was.
Anyway, that was not an interesting pitch, but that shows how obsessive he is about Mario.
That took a while to explain, not gonna lie.
No, it really did.
Well,
But
because
I feel like this is an important thing to discuss before we get into the real meat of this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
And to be fair, this pitch was actually really fucking long.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was the summarized version.
Yeah, like
With
I
notes.
was just really trying my best to abridge it because holy shit, I forgot how long it was. And it's
Yeah,
just-
no, that's fair.
It's
It
very
is long.
meandering, but let's see. I just want to take a look at one more. And like, there's still more. I like just talking about the story. I didn't talk about the characters or anything, because honestly, this is just ridiculous at that point.
Mhm.
But yeah, basically, I'd like to say, like, as he describes right here for Wario, Mr. Hyde version of Mario, exaggerated features, bulgy and muscular, sharp teeth and claw-like fingernails.
Wario with fucking claws.
Wario.
Big meaty claws.
Oh, and he describes other enemies too. Like, he wants to have the Buzzy Beetles pop up, but they're supposed to look like actual beetles instead of smooth-shelled turtles.
Why? What? Then they're not Buzzy Beetles. What's the
Then it
point?
sucks.
Yes.
Mr. Mario, what's the point in making these Mario enemies?
And the
not
funny
like
thing is, you
Mario
don't-
enemies?
Oh yeah. Let's take a look how he describes Princess Peach. Should look as much like the games as possible in dress and hairstyle, leaning heavily on the mashup of Disney Princess Grandeur and Rococo opulence. Might be prudent to hire a Japanese idol-style actress, someone familiar with the series, with serene, zen but giggles at effect. Often, affect? It's effect, dude. Oh yeah, I'd like to also to point out MovieBob has a lot of typos, which we'll definitely talk about when it comes to the book.
Mhm.
Like, MovieBob does not proofread his own shit.
Yeah,
No, not at all.
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Anyway,
But
let's get on to the real meat of this. So, we decided to read his book, which, again, just for those that haven't seen it yet, let me go and pull up the book real quick, because I have the image right here. Let me look through my sources real quick. Give me a second. Here is his book. It's called Super Mario Bros. 3, Brick by Brick, and let me enlarge this image right here. So, he is going to go through the levels, the enemies, the history, and the greatest game ever made, which, let's just say that's already subjective. Mario 3 is a good game, for sure. A really damn great game. And I would definitely say it's the best NES game for sure, but greatest game is a loaded statement.
Though not necessarily a terrible one at surface level.
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, let's dive right into this. I have all the pages marked, but basically, he's advertising this book as let me look on the website. Mario 3 Brick by Brick. So anyway, the way that he's describing this is more than a strategy guide, bigger than a retrospective, a whole new look at one of the greatest video games of all time. Film critic MovieBob decides to go through an in-depth analysis of his all-time favorite video game. And this was published on July 1st, 2013. So basically, I want you guys to remember that. He's promising this to be a very massive, in-depth analysis of Mario 3. So, how do you think that's going to go, guys?
well, I mean, I've already read.
Well, we read it, but let's. How would you think?
Let those who have not, read this.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know,
like
what do you
let's say
think,
this from the
audience?
perspective of someone that hasn't read this. How do you think how would you expect this? Like maybe analysis of how this game revolutionized gaming, for example.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Because Mario 3 is a genuinely revolutionary side scroller, and for good reason. It is a really good Mario. It is a really damn good
It's just
Mario.
a good game in general.
Yeah, and it did a lot of stuff that was innovative. This is not a good analysis whatsoever.
It sidetracks so much.
It sidetracks so much. The first half of it barely has to do with Mario 3, and it's just more of like a weird autobiography of MovieBob himself. And when it comes to the actual game, it's not really as much of an analysis as it reads like a forum Let's Play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you've ever guys looked at a Something Awful Let's Play from back in before like YouTube was a thing, that's what this kind of reads like. Like those old school forum Let's Plays where they like show a screenshot of the level, and because a lot of it just reads like when he's talking about the game, he goes, "I jumped on the Koopa, then I kicked the shell."
Yeah.
Like there are some levels where he would talk about what made them unique, but once it gets to like World 4, he just stops that.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
And it becomes meandering. So basically, a lot of this goes nuts. So anyway, before we begin, let's talk about his dedication. And on the dedication page, this book is dedicated to he has the usual people. He has his parents listed. He has his uncles. He has his like
guess
uncles
his
and brothers
siblings.
listed. Yeah. And he also has his grandmother listed because it was dedicated to her memory because she passed away when he was writing this. Which, hey, my dearest sympathies do go out to him for that.
Of course.
However, all of them are below a specific person. The first person this book is dedicated to, and the one you can clearly tell he is really dedicating to, is, I think this should be obvious at this point, but it's Shigeru fucking Miyamoto. And he wrote, because everyone else has, like, generic things. Like, basically, like, for his parents, he wrote for always being there. For his brothers, he wrote for everything. And for his grandmother, he wrote for setting an example. But for Shigeru Miyamoto, he wrote, for saving my life more times than he knows.
Yeah.
I guarantee Shigeru Miyamoto has absolutely no idea who MovieBob is.
Yeah.
It'd be weird. I think it'd be weirder if he did know.
Oh,
and
and
then, like,
I guarantee if he were to look at this, he'd be like, dude, this is just a video game.
Yeah, please.
Like, bro, chill the fuck out.
Yeah, please chill the fuck out. Mario's canceled, boys.
Mario is over. And I also wrote page 11 as a significant part.
Yeah, I did too.
So basically, page 11 is him going, well, why did I decide to write this book? Well, because no one ever did anything like this before. I can see why no one has done anything like this before. Because this book sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this book is just bad.
For real, for real.
Like, when it comes to Mario 3 itself, it wouldn't even pass as a fucking Retro Junk article.
For real. And, like,
No, it
we've
really
seen
wouldn't.
some stuff with Retro
And we
Junk
have seen
that
really
way.
bad Retro Junk articles, like this one guy dedicated to a Ryu and Chun-Li ship.
We'll get to that another day.
Oh, we'll get to that for some point. We have to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, to be fair, there are books that do this for movies, but the thing with movies is that you can easily analyze what made a movie work. And the thing is, they're written by people that are very prestigious, like Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
MovieBob is not Roger Ebert.
Not at all.
Remotely not even Roger Ebert. And then he talks about a brief history of Mario. And because, you have to talk about this for people that probably don't know who Mario is. And I appreciate that he didn't assume everyone knows who Mario is.
What's a Super Mario?
Who is Mari Man?
Who is Mario from?
And he talks about, like, the whole...
Who's
how
Mario from the Super Mario Brothers franchise?
And he also talks about, like, how originally Miyamoto was supposed to be a mangaka originally before he became an artist for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Which I actually didn't know that originally, so, hey, good on
I
him
didn't
for
know that
mentioning.
either. That was interesting.
And
I knew he was an engineer before he became a programmer, though.
And he talks about how Miyamoto was originally... how Miyamoto was assigned to, essentially, because Nintendo of America had a lot of unsold radar scope cabinets that he wanted Miyamoto to quickly, hastily reprogram the game into something that they could repurpose the cabinets for, and, that's how we got Donkey Kong. And originally, Donkey Kong was originally supposed to be a Popeye game, but Nintendo could not get the rights to Popeye, so, that's how we got Donkey Kong, Mario, and Pauline made. They were supposed to be stand-ins for Bluto, Olive Oil, and Popeye.
Yeah.
Which, hey, not everyone's going to know that. So, hey, good on him for mentioning that.
Yeah.
And he even mentions that Mario's original name was actually supposed to be Mr. Video, not Jumpman, which is actually true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
He never actually says Jumpman at once, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
No, Jumpman was mentioned on the arcade cabinet.
Oh, okay.
Was it? No.
Yeah,
Must have missed that.
Jumpman's mentioned on the Donkey Kong arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
I see.
So, should we get into?
Because originally Mr. Video was supposed to cameo on other games. But yeah, you were saying?
Should we get into what makes this really interesting?
Oh, we're getting to that. We are getting to that. So anyway, as I mentioned, I have a lot of pages listed of what's notable. So we're on...
have we gotten to page 17 yet or no?
We're on page 17, and he decides... as he's going through Mario's history, he mentions the Mario Brothers 2 and how that was Doki Doki Panic, which I would say by 2013... I would say that was no longer an obscure factoid,
Yeah,
but he really goes into
even
that.
especially today, like everyone fucking knows that.
Yeah, especially today. Nowadays, I feel like that's one of those. I feel like it's really hard to talk about because it's like one. I feel like in 2013 that was still not entirely a known fact, but at that point I knew it for sure.
Can I just go ahead and mention something else on page 17 where he mentions like, oh, the gamers like the formula changes, like they did in Zelda 2 and Castlevania 2, which, for the record, is not that true very at all. Zelda 2 is a very polarizing game.
A lot of people
2 is,
fucking
like,
hate
kind of
Castlevania
panned.
2. A lot of people fucking hate Castlevania 2, and there are still people that are
Zelda
divided
2
on
is very
Zelda 2.
very divisive.
I
sure.
personally think Zelda 2 is a good game, but I
think it's good. Yeah, I don't hate it, but-
Zelda 2 is a good game, but I can see why people don't like it personally.
Yeah.
Whereas Castlevania 2 is like nearly unanimously agreed to be like not a good game at all.
Oh yeah.
The only good thing
Oh yeah,
about that game is
it's just puzzling to me that he mentioned that one in particular.
But it's like
As like,
Mario
oh,
Brothers 2.
it's a good change up sequel. Like, no, the
Mario Brothers
fuck
2
it isn't.
like is usually commonly regarded as a good game. Most of the people that don't like it just don't like the fact that it's like the quote unquote fake Mario 2 and would rather play Lost Levels. And I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid if you'd rather play Lost Levels than this.
Oh yeah.
Because
That
Lost
is
Levels,
very true.
Lost Levels is like so fucking frustrating to play. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Like
Not
as someone
even a
that
good
beat,
fucking
as
frustrating.
someone that beat Lost Levels last year, I can say like that game is like not even remotely fun.
Oh yeah.
No, I beat it a long time ago as well. That was not a good time.
It is like
It's not worth doing.
There are like Mario 2 is just
Like, if you hate yourself, then go right ahead. But
it is just like, on par with Mega Man X6 as far as like bullshit difficulty.
Yeah. So can we talk?
yeah, but this is older, so I'd actually argue this one's worse.
Can we talk about?
We're
the...
getting there. We're getting there. Anyway,
Okay.
so now he has a
Dustin,
chapter
you're
called.
cutting ahead, my guy. Just please be
Well,
patient.
now he's starting to call it Life in War. Time to talk about the console wars, which we're going to get to that in a bit for sure.
It's called Life in Wartime. That kind of stuck out to me as kind of like okay.
Like a very hyperbolic.
A necessity.
Weird
So anyway,
flex,
let's
alright.
go to page 22. Page 22 is actually no, not page 22.
I really. Can't
That's where
wait
he's
to
talking
get
about the
to
Wii and how the Wii essentially caused Mario to become the king of video games again, blah, 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 because New Super Mario Bros. Wii sold like 10 million copies. Now, anyway, we're at part 2, outside of the brief history of Mario. This part is called Mario and Me, My Life in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, he went to the Mushroom
And
Kingdom for a
I love how
long
he
time.
starts this as Mario and I were born the same year, 1981, and as such, I don't remember a world without him. Let that fucking sentence set the tone for the rest of this, because this is going to go off
Yeah.
the rails fast.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Oh,
we
yeah.
are going to go, as a result, let's
Viewing
go
a
to...
corporate mascot as like an actual like childhood friend is weird enough, but wait to hear the rest of it.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get to... So he talks about how Mario, how to save the consoles, you know, the NES was bundled with the Rob the Robot and the Zapper Gun to, you know, show that this was more of a toy. It was a Trojan horse. So that way the real games like Super Mario Brothers could show gaming is actually going to be revolutionized forever. And Super Mario Brothers 1, you know, did that perfectly.
Yeah.
Like the original Mario Brothers, I feel like, let's just simply say this for the younger people. Mario Brothers 1 was a game that was unlike anything else at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was nothing even remotely close to it.
Yeah, like, the fact that it was, like, yeah, the game you can beat nowadays in, like, under an hour. Back then, a game like Mario was a long game.
Oh yeah.
Outside of stuff like the Ultimas, but those were on PC, and those were complex games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he talks about how he discovered Mario and connected with him by playing with a friend. And there's always a game that you play with a friend that, you know, definitely gave you something.
Halo was Halo for me.
It was Super Smash Brothers for me, personally.
It was Pokemon.
I literally discovered my favorite game through a friend as well. So
Oh yeah, like it happens for a lot of us. Like a lot of us discover
Yeah, I
a
know.
favorite game from people, but MovieBob took it to a unique level. This was the start. This wasn't the start of someone discovering their favorite game. This was the start of essentially an obsession.
Yes, with their fetish
Or
religion.
a fetish? What the fuck?
MovieBob's the kind of guy that goes the overall
I
stay
mean,
on during
yeah,
sex.
I'm not doubting it, but like,
The Mario hat stays on during sex.
Yes.
No,
it's me, gonna come.
Now get in the Princess Peach dress.
That's supposed to be Mario screaming "Mama." Sorry.
Wait, this is just gonna be fucking.
I'm more like Toad.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's why he has the little man standing in the room while we do it.
Anyway. So, essentially, let me go to my thing. I think it was page 28 is where we need to... No, it's not page 28. But basically, the new world he describes as basically he's able to play everything else now. and that there was a new Super Mario Bros. 2. Then again, talks about Doki Doki Panic, the thing everyone fucking knows at this point.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, everyone knows that Mario 2 was originally Doki Doki Literature Clubs, or whatever.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up. But
that joke was inevitable.
Yeah,
okay, so now he's talking about stuff.
Did you know the 4 DDLC characters were originally going to be the characters in Mario 2?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
There was another part.
Yuri jumped the highest.
Okay. So basically, on page 30, he talks about the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, which, let's get my opinion on that on the way. I personally do not think the Super Show is really that bad, exactly.
No, I don't
like,
either.
it's cheesy, but it's like, it's a harmless 80s cartoon.
And it's
yeah,
of
course.
entertaining in that way.
Like, it's not outstanding, but it's not bad. It's a fun watch for what it's worth. If you like Mario, you'll probably get a good kick out of it.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny sometimes, in a weird way.
Like, yeah, it's worth watching for the meme, but he decides to, justify this a lot. And he said he loved every minute of these cartoons, which a lot of old school gamers did happen to like the old 80s cartoons for most of the time.
Yeah. It's not
Granted, there were some real stinkers like Captain N, the Game Master, which is
Captain
not
N
good.
shit. And
Captain N
you heard
sucks.
me.
I really
Captain
cannot defend
N
Captain
is
N.
garbage.
It really is.
They did my boy Mega Man dirty. I will never forgive them.
Mega high!
But anyway,
Mega boob.
Anyway, this is where MovieBob's absolute absurd dedication to consumerism pops in for sure. However, so when any sliver of culture that featured one of your game heroes in a show, movie, or comic, basically said, at that point you had to snap it up, not knowing your next fix was going to come from. So he sounds like an addict here.
Yeah.
When it comes to Mario, and it's like, dude, I get that Mario is a big deal for you, but it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you
I mean,
really...
to be fair, he was a kid at that point, though. I will
Yeah,
say.
but even as a kid, I wasn't that dedicated to a fix. Yeah, I watched G4 a lot, but it was more to see hey, what games would be good to grab, kind of thing.
I think it really depends on the age you're talking, also, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I think around that time he was around 7, and I can kind of understand.
I can understand the mentality also, because I'll admit when I was around 11, 12, I was watching stuff like the Mario cartoons from YouTube. But that was more in a sense of, sweet, there was old school 90s Mario cartoons. These
Okay, but to be fair, he was also he was from the time when these were new, also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to shit him too much for that aspect.
But yeah, but it's just the whole you had to get it kind of thing, which kind of sounds like addiction.
It does, but also
I see where you're coming from, the whole.
He's talking in childish hyperbole here, and to be fair, in here it's intentional.
It's somewhat understandable too, because even then he admits they weren't really that good in hindsight.
Yeah.
Which actually takes a lot to do for even if you're super nostalgic for something.
Yeah, honestly, I'll give him credit here.
Yeah, I'll give him. Yeah, we can give him credit here, absolutely.
I'll give him some Reddit karma for that one. You get a little bit of Reddit karma.
Reddit karma.
Yeah.
Hello, Redditor.
Mom, check out my new job. I get paid in Reddit karma.
I have no son.
Anyway.
I have no son.
So now he starts hearing about the rumors of Super Mario Bros. 3, but doesn't know what to make of them until a little movie called The Wizard came out, which he admits is also a very terrible movie when he's actually correct there. That movie is god-awful.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Wizard is just a 90-minute advertisement, and it is, notoriously inaccurate about almost all the games they mention.
Yeah, and fun fact, going back to the Mario OVA, that was also a walking advertisement. Not for Mario, though. It was actually an advertisement for fucking ramen noodles. I just wanted to bring that up because when
when are we gonna bring that up again? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Wizard was just mostly an advertisement for Nintendo products.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know what the Wizard is, basically think the plot of the Tom Cruise classic The Rain Man, but instead of card counting, it's video games.
Yeah.
And MovieBob even talks about a lot of infamous quotes in the movie. He brings up the infamous the Power Glove quote, and the whole the 50,000 points in Double Dragon. Which, for the record, to get an idea how that many points that is, 50,000 points is you're at least 3/4 the way through the game.
Yeah. And also, he touched my boob.
Oh yeah, he mentions the infamous "he touched my breast" line. Oh, by the way, the chick that was in The Wizard also now frontlines a punk rock band and will absolutely block anyone that mentions the movie to her on Twitter. Like she would
Yeah.
rather not answer any questions about that movie.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I don't blame anyone. So basically, and now he talks about how, and now he talks about the climactic reveal, his words, not mine, of Super Mario Brothers 3! And says how it's burned. No, seared into his memory the way, I shit you not, these are his words, not mine. He compares the reveal to Like, let's get this out of the way real quick. There's a lot of announcements we like and will always be in our memories as cool announcements. But I will never, ever compare it to... He goes and compares the Mario 3 announcement to the way that tragedies are seared into people's minds. He compares it explicitly to JFK's assassination
Yes.
and 9/11.
No.
He compares it to the impact of seeing 9/11 or JFK's assassination, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
I don't think not at all.
Not even not even my favorite video game announcements. Like, I'm gonna go back to an announcement that I remember blew my mind was the Twisted Metal announcement on PS3 because that was cool to see. But I would never compare it to a fucking tragedy.
Like Brawl's announcement for me when I was a kid, my first thought was not, oh, this is just like that time JFK fucking died.
No, not at all. I was more like, oh, cool, Sonic's here.
That was me when Halo 4 was announced. I'm like, but of course, not JFK level kind of shit.
We were more like, oh shit, this is
I was like,
cool.
wow, this is cool. But I'm like, wow, I never thought to myself, wow, this is like an American tragedy.
Not even remotely. Like, MovieBob, what the fuck? Like, have some fucking priorities, dude.
Jesus Christ.
It's genuinely, like, messed up.
Oh, that's not even
Slightly.
Oh, it gets even worse.
Oh, yeah.
So
Really
now
do.
MovieBob is like talking about how, like, also I love how he's talking about Nintendo Power at one point and going like, man, I can help you out in video games. He goes like, I was the cool kid because I knew all the secrets.
Hey, baby, you want to know how?
He said he peaked in elementary school.
Yeah, he peaked in elementary school. No, he didn't say that. We said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that was the conclusion we got from that.
Yeah, it literally comes off as he peaked in elementary school, which is more pathetic than peaking in high school.
Yeah, honestly.
Somehow they found a way to do it.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, these are just being good at video games. Like, I like video games too. Like, hell, you can see that in the fucking, like, the fucking B-roll. I have plenty of video game footage here of me just, playing video games, and it's a hobby at the end of the day. It's not a way of life. Like, this is coming from someone that's a huge fucking fan of Guilty Gear, but even then, it's just a hobby of mine to play Guilty Gear, not a way of life. Even if I want to eventually change my name to So Bad Guy. But
Can't wait till we get to the next big point of contention in this book. It's the best.
Oh, we're getting there. We're fucking getting it.
It gets better.
This gets more and more ridiculous. But anyway, he also talks about, like, this chapter's called A Boy Goes to War.
Hold on, Jesse, can I mention that the fact that the announcement thing is only half a page?
Oh, for Mario 3? Oh, totally.
Yes, it's only half a page, and despite being the main subject of the book, and he still drops the fucking fact that, it's like an American tragedy. Like, what the fuck?
Totally. Oh, and he's talking about how Mario 3 was the beginning of the end, in a way, because he talks about how marketing was always trying to compete with products, which is, is how competition works,
that's
dude.
how
So he talks
works.
about the cola wars between Coke and Pepsi, and I shit you not.
Which is not a terrible comparison at first glance.
Honestly, I don't think there's really anyone going at each other's throats over Coke and Pepsi. Like, personally, I drink both the stuff, but I have a slight preference for Pepsi.
I prefer Coke.
Yeah, same here.
I think part of it is mainly because I also listen to that song by Suicidal Tendencies, Institutionalized, a lot, that I'm just brainwashed to have Pepsi now.
Just give me a Pepsi, Mom.
All I want is a Pepsi, just one Pepsi, but she wouldn't give it to me. But anyway, so he talks about, also, I shit you not, here's another hyperbole of MovieBob, how he says Nike essentially started a quote-unquote race war amongst his sports
Yes,
fan
that is
friends.
actually in the book.
Yeah, that is literally what he says.
He started a race war. What
And
the
I looked
actual
it up.
fuck?
There's a little context, but
Not enough to make that comment, acceptable,
And
though.
I think it's just MovieBob.
Yeah.
MovieBob is just known for hyperbole, which we're going to see more of that.
Yeah.
Which yes, there as of course context. He wouldn't say that for just no goddamn reason. But
the context is
it's
mainly basically
switch,
it's like
switch in demographic. You were saying that earlier.
It's basically a rivalry between basketball shoes and skater shoes, and both of them had a very clearly targeted like certain groups of people by their race.
Just say demographic.
And now he's talking about how
like
he's
the
no
race.
longer the king of video games. So and now he's talking about how in the 90s, due to video games being the new fad, he's talking about how he was the knowledgeable guy at video games. He was going, why, yes, ma'am, I can tell you the best place to build up your EXP in Final Fantasy. What's that, sir? I can make it through TMNT 2. Let me show you a code.
Maybe he should have used one of those on Lindsay Allison. Maybe he could have dated her.
But he said, even then, it's still like, dude, it's just video games.
Like, bro, it's not that crazy. Real. It is crazy, but not that.
However, then there was the Sega Genesis, and Sega declared war.
That is something he does verbatim say in the book, is that Sega declared war.
Yeah. And to be
Console
fair,
war.
the SNES and Genesis was the first proper console war for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Because
And the one basically everyone remembers, too.
and there's a reason. Like, yeah, there was stuff like Atari versus the ColecoVision and Intellivision, but that wasn't really as much of a console war, really, because everyone tried to compete against Atari, and that caused a video game crash because there's too many fucking consoles.
Yep.
And no one really, and like games were just flooding the market of like very dubious quality.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's the NES versus the Master System, but we all know how well that fucking went.
Oh
Yeah.
Like the NES,
Especially in the US.
especially in the
Well,
US.
in Europe, the Master System dominated, but
Oh yeah,
but
but that's because the NES had a botched launch in Europe.
The Master
Yeah.
System ruled in the UK. It did.
Bruh.
But can't wait. We're almost there. I feel it. I feel it in my soul.
Besides, he was and he was talking about how he never crossed his mind to get the Genesis for a reason. He was Team Mario. Sega just wasn't Mario's enemy; it was his too. To a 12-year-old, that made sense. When I was 12, I didn't give a shit
But
about.
this
the
man is
console.
like 30. Or maybe 40 now. I don't know.
He's 40.
40? Okay.
It's like MovieBob. When I was 12, I did not give a shit about the console wars. When I was 12, I played Super Smash Bros. Brawl at a friend's house during a sleepover, and I was like, holy shit, I gotta get a Wii now. So I said...
And you were Team Sony.
Yeah, and I had a PS3 at that point. I was satisfied
You were
enough with my
Sony.
PS3 anyway. Like,
I was Team Nintendo growing up, but I
I
converted to Team Xbox
had a
when I
PS2
got
growing
into
up.
Halo.
I didn't really have a need to get Nintendo consoles at the time.
But I mean,
because
I own multiple consoles now, obviously.
Oh, yeah,
'cause
nowadays, as an
that's
adult, yeah.
childish shit. I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah, but as an adult, even as a kid, I was more like, yeah, I like the PS2, but I was never like a diehard fanboy exactly. It was what I had.
Yeah, I get teased about it because I played a different console. But it's like, yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, even then, like, it was more like I had a friend that had the GameCube and had the multiplayer game. So if I wanted to play GameCube, I just went over to my friend's house at the time,
Of course.
and we played Mario Kart Double Dash and Star Fox Assault, which has really fucking fun multiplayer. I would like to toss that out there.
I never played Star Fox Assault multiplayer.
Star Fox
Sounds
Assault's
interesting.
multiplayer is so fucking fun.
Oh, is it?
It's really good.
Oh yeah, it is
Yeah,
really
pretty
damn
good.
good.
But,
Like pretty much the game is worth it alone for the multiplayer.
I will say that like Nintendo and Sega definitely fueled their console wars more than like they were in like our time.
Oh yeah, totally. The Genesis does what Nintendo don't, after all.
Yeah.
We should talk about
Like,
console wars definitely on the podcast in general as like a general topic down the line.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like
Yeah.
this is definitely one of those where it was agitated for sure because like Sega was just
Sega
fucking
had a
savage.
very aggressive marketing campaign for sure.
Oh totally. There was the Genesis does what Nintendo don't. There was the blast processing where they had the fucking where they're like
Which isn't really a thing, by the way.
Actually, there it is, but here's what it means. Sega had a 8.7 megahertz processor, whereas the Super Nintendo, I think, only had like 4 megahertz. But the only game that really showed it off was the Sonic the Hedgehog games, and games like Gunstar Heroes, which Gunstar Heroes is explicitly made for the Genesis because of its processor.
Yeah.
Like games like Gunstar Heroes and Dynamite Headdy would not be possible on the Super Nintendo remotely.
Yeah.
Like Treasure was that one company that knew how to exploit the Genesis super hard and make it do Super Nintendo tier graphics. Like they had Mode 7 accomplished on the Genesis.
Yeah.
Like, look at anything from Dynamite Headdy and Gunstar Heroes, and you'll be like, how the hell is the Sega doing this?
Yeah. But
and then Nintendo, when Donkey Kong Country was coming out, because all that needed was just the Silicon Graphics computers. Which no, I'm not trying to reference George Wood here. Like, I just want to get that out the way. Like, because that game used the pre-rendered graphics and looked really damn good for the time. Yes, Nintendo saw a proper opportunity to finally fire back because Sega had like mishaps with the Sega CD and 32X. They goes, this is Donkey Kong Country. Where are you gonna get this? Not on 32X, not on Sega CD, only on Super Nintendo 16-bit.
Yeah.
Which was like the proper time to fire back.
Yeah.
Like honestly, they fucking earned that.
Oh yeah, totally.
They did earn it.
And that was like a well-deserved fuck you from Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And Donkey Kong Country itself is the game that allowed the Super Nintendo to win the console war.
Yeah, it's truly perfect.
Yeah, it's also a really good game too.
Donkey Kong is truly perfect.
We love quoting that from George Wood, but that game is nearly truly perfect.
It is legitimately very good.
Yeah, like the original Donkey Kong Country is a really good game.
Oh yeah.
So basically,
talk about the book more, or
yeah, we're talking more about the book. We're getting there. We're getting to a part that's really good. So now he talks about on page 38 how there was a Super Mario Brothers movie.
Had to be good.
Yeah, which to him it had to be good. It wasn't just for him, but it was for Mario. Mario was his friend.
He was his best buddy.
Mr. Mario, I got a big good movie.
Is his best buddy that his parents had to pay to hang around him.
And it was like, and he was just like ready to see Mario as a movie. And it was just like, he was just so obsessed with the idea of this movie being good to the point that when he finally saw it, he was just like, he had to lie to himself that it was good. Until, like, as an adult, where he's like, yeah, it's not good. Because he said it needed to be good, because I needed Mario to be as big and meaningful a Wii franchise as he had been in gaming.
Yeah.
And he goes, Mario was not a pet rock, damn it. He was my friend. The thing that was getting me through the misery of my pre-adolescence.
If you're depressed in pre-adolescence, there is something very, very wrong.
Yeah, you're supposed to be depressed during adolescence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
However, he also talks about how there are several awful video game movies like Double Dragon and Street Fighter. Which, say what you will about the Street Fighter, I would not at least say Street Fighter is a good movie exactly. It's entertaining, but it's not a good movie exactly. And he calls it a harbinger, things that were changing. And now, on page 41, the console wars are still dragging on, like MovieBob's quote-unquote personal Vietnam.
Oh my god.
No,
Okay.
yes, he actually fucking says that.
Yeah, the console wars were his own Vietnam.
Personal Vietnam.
Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot make this shit up.
Personal Vietnam.
You just have like a fucking like a Sega soldier just walking around with like a key.
MovieBob's like, oh no, they're in the trees.
Yes.
You just see like a Sega soldier attack MovieBob in his fucking backyard.
Yes. This is why he deserves space
Tell my
travel
friend
for
Mario
all
I love him.
This is why he deserves space travel.
Nintendo Apocalypse. Nintendo Apocalypse now.
Yes.
Bruh.
Oh man.
Fucking MovieBob was just like this Nintendo soldier who just carried like a keychain of just like Sega fan ears on his waist.
So now he's about to talk about Yoshi's Island.
Oh yes.
So Yoshi's Island is a prequel to most of the Mario games, showing Mario's origin. And MovieBob was ready to see Mario's origin, alright. Because MovieBob had at that point meticulously kept up with the Mario lore.
I meticulously kept up with the Mario lore, as you see.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, Mario doesn't even have that much lore to begin with. Let's
Oh,
be
yeah.
real here.
It's not really meant to have lore.
Yeah, Mario is meant to be gameplay, not story.
Yeah.
Yep, precisely.
And he also talks about the whole like common rumor of how the game was originally supposed to have pre-rendered graphics until Shigeru Miyamoto axed that. In reality, the game was never going to have pre-rendered graphics. Like they were suggested. Like Miyamoto was suggested to use pre-rendered graphics, but at that point they were so far in development that they couldn't do that. So they saved that for Yoshi's Story, which I have not played that, but from what I've heard, it's an alright game.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And Yoshi's Island does look pretty good with the crayon aesthetic, I will say.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is a great game. And even MovieBob says it was a good game. But he calls
Yeah.
it the Mario game that, quote-unquote, broke his brain.
Yes.
He also says it's very narrative based, which I thought was really weird.
Oh, yeah. But he calls it the game that broke his brain for a reason. Because, you know, in Mario and Yoshi's Island, Kamek kidnaps Luigi and is trying to kidnap Mario so that way he prevents Bowser from being defeated in the future, like we said earlier. And the idea of him seeing Mario's origin story had him playing through the game like a man possessed, as he says. Because he really wants to see Mario get his way to Brooklyn.
He has to. He just has to. It's so important to him.
And so, when Mario and Luigi are delivered the stork to the Mushroom Kingdom, he goes, "What?"
He flipped his table, dropped his Mountain Dew, and instantly was like, I do not approve of
He
this,
was
sir.
literally shaking.
Yeah, he was literally shaking. And he's like, and then later on in the book, he tries to say, like, no, I didn't have a breakdown where I needed, like, I totally did have a breakdown, guys.
And it's like,
I totally-
MovieBob,
know he
dude,
did.
you
You
called
know
the
he
console...
did.
It's like, dude, you totally had a breakdown if you called the fucking console wars your own private Vietnam.
And it's like, no, Mario had to be from Brooklyn.
And he goes like, do you want to see like Superman and like hidden in the Mushroom
He
Kingdom?
wanted to see Mario say, "Hey, I'm walking here."
Yeah.
I just like to imagine, like, because he's talking about, like, was Mario hidden, like, Superman hidden, like, when Superman was hidden on Earth? And just, like, imagining Mario's father's, like, Jor-El.
Yes. And it's the Mario race.
Fucking Mario.
The Mario race.
Yes.
The race of plumbers.
My son, you must go to Earth with your brother, Luigi.
We must hide you
the Mario
until the
people.
time is right.
That's the
Stop
source of all Italians.
Stop Frieza
Yeah, Mario
for us.
race.
Mario,
It's just
Mario,
invincible.
Luigi, we're sending you to Earth to hide you from Frieza. I mean, Bowser.
Yes.
Freeze.
It's like fucking Dragon Ball Minus with Bardock and Janae, where they send Goku to Earth to hide him from Frieza.
You don't worry. We've hidden all your knowledge of your plumber ways and all of these mushrooms. Use them well.
And now he's talking about like how he had more important things to worry about, like college prep, girls, sex, and drugs.
Yeah, how to get all of those.
And it's like,
So he can see Mario in Brooklyn.
yeah.
Mario, oh
But no, didn't he listen to Mario? If you do drugs, you go to hell before you die.
no! You go to hell
But,
before you
yeah,
die.
if you don't watch the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, you're gonna turn into a Goomba.
If Super Mario Bros. Super Show is truly perfect. Anyway, let's see, what else is the insanity we got here? But yeah, Mario games have always been his thing, his refuge from everything else when he needed them. And now that refuge was tinted. Because because fucking Mario is no longer from Brooklyn.
Yeah, this is the worst thing that could have ever happened to him.
My life is over. Mario not from Brooklyn.
Anyway, what page are we on now? 44. What's our
Mario, no rude New Yorker anymore. My life gone.
Yeah, he's just an Italian from space. That's the only way he can keep himself.
So now here he talks about the 5th generation of consoles, where it's just like, dude, what does this have to do with Mario 3 now?
Yeah, honestly.
Like, he's just talking about how, like, Mario is...
He doesn't go just that far.
Yeah, but it's like, now it's just getting to, like, dude, this is supposed to be about Super Mario
He
Bros.
goes all the
3.
way to present day by the time he wrote this, which is like, what, 2011?
2012. This book was published in
2012,
2013.
okay.
But we do need to bring up something though. Even though this has jack shit to do with Super Mario Bros. 3, like this book, we do have to bring up something from around this era, I believe.
What?
We'll get there.
Okay.
I think you know what we're talking about. With
I'll be honest, no, I don't.
No. But okay, just continue.
But yeah, but now he's just mostly talking about the PlayStation and Nintendo 64 and how at that point he just had to get a PlayStation because like the Nintendo 64 had a drought of games, which to be fair is a fair thing.
That's very true.
Like honestly, if you were to ask me what I prefer between the N64 and the PlayStation, I would say the PlayStation. Honestly, but the N64 has great games, and that should never be discounted because some of the N64's best games are like just genuinely
Or some of the greatest of all time.
Oh, totally. Like
I'm not a very good barometer for like which I prefer because I only really played an N64 and I haven't played most.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask you to measure air pressure.
I would
Honestly.
really say like a lot of the N64 classics have like the big classic of N64. Most areas have aged better than some of the PlayStation's best games for sure. Like Tomb Raider 1 is a very dated game to go back to. Like I personally like it, but it is a game that if you were to play it nowadays, you would have to adjust to it.
Yeah.
And Resident Evil also has clearly dated itself too, and you're better off playing the remakes for it.
Yeah.
But I would still say, like, some of the PlayStation's best games are still worth playing. Like, Metal Gear Solid's still totally worth playing. Mega Man X4 is totally worth playing. Symphony of the Night's worth playing. Twisted Metal's still fun. Like, there's a lot of good games you can still play on the PlayStation, but the N64's classics, most of them have aged extremely well, I would at least argue. Like, Mario 64 aged, like, fine wine, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Ocarina of Time has aged fairly well,
Ocarina of Time
too.
aged even better.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time's aged fairly well, honestly. Like, I played a little bit of it recently, and I'm like, yeah, this is a good game.
Yeah, I still say it's very playable even to this day.
I'd say the only one that hasn't aged well is Donkey Kong 64, but even that game had a somewhat mixed reception at the time, even.
I'll fight you on that, but I do think Banjo-Tooie did not age the best.
Oh, Banjo-Tooie totally. Banjo-Tooie did not age very well either.
Like honestly, I'll fully say this. Like criticisms aside about Donkey Kong 64, I still think it's better than Banjo-Tooie.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just simply saying I hadn't fully played Donkey Kong 64. I was only saying that one I would argue about. That's because I've seen most people nowadays have like a more negative view at Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah.
So that's why I was bringing that one up. And I was saying like even at the time it was a somewhat divisive game.
Yeah.
Like that's all I was saying.
Yeah. But,
And like with the PlayStation N64, there were both good games you could still be playing, and I could see where MovieBob's saying at this point.
Yeah. So.
But he talks about like how Mario's starting to fall apart, and now there's a decade of darkness where he's talking about how he stopped playing video games for a while.
He's just wallowing in his own sadness because oh no, Mario not here.
Yeah, and he's just stopped playing video games for a while.
All know,
Which I'm not gonna fault him at that because he says that because at that point he was a full adult.
Look, we all know.
And he was in college and stuff too. So.
Yeah, so it's like there was some stuff he had to focus on.
So he's like, that is totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, we all know the real reason why he.
Yeah, we all know the real reason is more than likely because Mario wasn't relevant anymore.
Well, yeah,
because Mario
the pretense
wasn't from
the pretense is obviously there. It's just yeah.
It's like I can see him like having genuine reasons, but we all know most of it is Mario.
It's because Mario didn't go to Brooklyn.
Mario gone.
Mario wasn't from Brooklyn. That's why.
And he was so alien to Pokemon, and he was like, oh no, Pikachu is now more popular than Mario, which I would honestly argue is kind of bullshit.
No.
These days, I would not.
No,
Like, for younger people these days,
not.
definitely not true.
No, I would argue Pikachu and Mario are at least on the same tier of popularity, I'd argue.
Yeah, for young kids, I'd say Pikachu is just slightly more popular.
No, I would still argue Mario is still just as popular kids, too.
Okay, he was talking at the time.
I mean, they're definitely same tier. I'm not
argue at the time. I'm like, no, more kids would still say Mario is a popular thing, too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
But
Pokemon was definitely a phenomenon in the 1990s, for sure. Like, was a massive fucking phenomenon in the 1990s.
And still is largest
it still
IP
is.
in the world right now.
Like, I'm just simply saying this is speaking from someone that is a fan of Pokemon, that I feel like I want to call MovieBob out on his bullshit a little bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, it was definitely at its height in the 90s, but it's never really gone away.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
and it's definitely like gotten back to like being like super mainstream again, too.
Mm-hmm.
It was always mainstream.
Well, no, it was always but it had a brief dip to where it was only really popular fans. Granted, there was a lot of fans. No, you don't know what I'm saying here. Like back in the 90s, it was like super fucking huge.
The majority of the games have actually sold close numbers to the original.
Yeah, but back in the GBA era, there was like a brief dip in sales.
Like it was seemed bigger because there wasn't much else at the time that could really balance that out.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Because
Yeah,
it was definitely more mainstream. But I wouldn't necessarily say that. Yeah, it would never really went away.
It never
Because
went
it
away.
definitely
I'm not saying it went away. I'm not saying
Mhm.
that.
I know.
What I was saying was that there was a bit where it wasn't in the limelight anymore.
Yeah. But should we get back to the book?
Yeah, we're back to the book. We are back to the book. And he's just talking about, like, how... Let's see. So, how he was also talking about how he worked at a video store, which eventually landed him a proper job. Which landed him eventually at a, you know, a public access TV show where he would review movies.
Here we go. This is what I was talking about.
And then he decides to... it's like, at this point, the book's already, like, no longer about Mario, but he decides to talk about how he was fired from his public access thing for giving a negative review to Passion of the Christ, where it's like, dude, what the fuck does Passion of the Christ have to do with Mario?
Yeah, honestly.
Like,
I don't remember the Mario
He's just
game where
venting at that
Mario
point,
was
yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like,
crucified
he is
stabbed.
just going off the fucking rails.
Oh, mamma mia, I'm afraid I have to die for your sins. Sorry.
Mario died for MovieBob's sake. Mario, he wishes the movie was about Mario dying.
Yeah, that's right. 0 out of 10, no Marios.
And it's like, just the whole thing is just like, dude, what does this have to fucking do with
I'm
Mario?
gonna Google Mario Passion of the Christ real quick. Be right back.
And he's
Yeah,
just talking about
of
how he was like so confused by the new console wars because the Xbox. And so I like how he goes into full ego stroking too about the show because he says like after he got fired, the show got canceled. And it's just like implying that it was only him that the show was going on for so long.
Can't find anything with Mario as Passion of the Christ, so I'm just gonna look up Super Mario Jesus Christ.
So now he decided to go back to working at Best Buy, and this is actually where he got back into his hobby of gaming because he discovered because this is back on the GBA where, you know, they did the NES releases.
Oh my God, I found something. Can I?
DM it to me.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna DM it to you real quick.
But this is when they did the GBA re-releases. You know the old.
Okay.
You know those GBA releases of the NES classics. So they had games like Mario, they had Metroid, they had Ice Climber, all those. And I did have one of those NES GBA classics, so I had the Metroid one growing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, and there was a GBA that looked like an NES controller that MovieBob purchased on impulse alongside a bunch of This is totally MovieBob right here. Hang on.
I just said it's something amazing.
Hang on. I'm putting it in here. Give me a second.
Yo.
But basically, as MovieBob bought a GBA with the various games that looked like an NES controller because he had to get back into his hobby of gaming. And he saw that most Mario's classic adventures were on the GBA and played a bunch of them. And it ended up like causing a resurgence in his obsession.
Yes. He was clean for a few years, but he got hooked again.
Yeah.
I'm just excited.
But yeah, this is basically the image right here that he sent me.
Whom no accept Jesus Christ as his savior.
Just like Luigi go,
1 + 1 = 3.
It's like, what the hell is this? Whoever this is will credit him later in the description.
Yeah, I'll send you the thing.
Yeah, send me a thing. So I'm gonna need to credit that guy anyway.
Yeah, we'll give him credit on it.
But yeah, basically, like, he gets a Professor Mega Man. Professor Mega Man. Sorry. So yeah, thank you, Professor Mega Man, for creating that image. I hope you don't mind us using that.
It's in my DeviantArt favorites now. I love it.
But yeah, he was playing a bunch of the re-releases on his GBA and everything, and he was starting to see Mario come back. And then the Wii came out and became a massive success, and also New Super Mario Bros. Came out, and to be fair, back in 2005, New Super Mario Bros. Was a genuinely huge deal at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is so easy to underestimate how big of a deal that game was, because most of the later games got very formulaic and derivative. But back when New Super Mario Brothers came out, it was like a big deal because it was the first new 2D Mario game in like the longest time. And when it came out, it was a pretty fun game for what it was worth, too.
Oh my god, I'm just finding more Mario and Jesus images. I'm not gonna share them though. I'm not gonna share them with the class.
So basically, it was a big deal at the time because it was like how it was originally. And then, the Wii came out, big deal. New Super Mario Brothers, like Super Mario Galaxy, Super Smash Brothers. He goes on the whole, like, that stuff for a while. And now, he talks about how he was now this is him talking about MovieBob, like how he got his MovieBob bullshit going. And how he became a movie critic and starts... This is just mostly at this point, pretty much ego stroking at its finest.
Yeah, he was writing it with one hand again.
Yeah, he was just straight up stroking his ego here. Like, just
Yeah,
totally
he
going,
just literally
how the
practically
Escapist
jerked
clearly needed him as a movie critic, and how Screw Attack needed the Game Over Thinker for his brilliance.
Yeah, clearly, which is why he's still on both of those.
Oh, yeah. No, I think he left
Screw
the
Attack's not
He left the
around anymore,
Escapist.
but he's not on the Escapist anymore.
Yeah, that's what I said. He was fired from the Escapist.
Yeah. So,
And Screw Attack doesn't even exist anymore. It's just Death Battle.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was gonna bring that up. Yeah.
So
But,
he's just... So now he's just employed... So now I think he only makes money from Patreon nowadays.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
So-
basically how the console wars have ended his own... He was able to make peace with his personal Vietnam.
Yeah. He finally got his parade.
However, New Super Mario Bros. Wii came out, and Mario was now a new celebrity, was now big again. And now...
Actual.
And when this book was being written, the Wii U was coming out.
Yeah.
And on one fateful day, the event that inspired him to write this book happened to him. So when he was getting a new Wii U, because his original Wii U was defective, he saw a mother and her child with him. And this kid that he saw was really into Mario, as he described. The kid essentially had Mario t-shirt, Mario baseball cap, Mario backpack, even Mario sneakers. And then he looks down at him and smiled. And the kid looked up at him, realizing that he also happened to have the Mario shirt, which was on the Mario 2 character select screen. And he said the kid was surprised and goes, "This big older guy knows Mario too?" And he says, "Yes, I do, kid. Yes, I do." And simply says that kid needs his own Mario. And he can only hope that Mario's as good a friend to him as he was to MovieBob.
That reminds me of this one time when I was getting one of my tires adjusted and fixed and whatnot. I actually kind of overheard a mother with like this kid like with like kind of similar Mario garb, and the kid said, "Mario is not the imposter." So then I decked him. But no, I didn't, obviously. But I think MovieBob would have done that if he heard that.
Oh, I remember the only thing I had when it came to stuff I liked was when I was at a recent convention, but it wasn't because like they recognized something. It was more I was talking with some cosplayers, and they were talking about cool character designs. So I decided to interject, and I showed them a picture of Still Bad Guy, and they said he looked stupid. And I suddenly thought very less of their intelligence because these were also because I want to say these were Danganronpa fans. These are Danganronpa fans, so they don't get to talk about character design, and they don't get to say Soul looks old because
he's say anything.
Yeah, they don't get to say anything about Soul. If they think Soul is stupid, they're stupid.
He hates Zoomers.
I do. I fucking hate those idiots. So yeah, basically at the end of this part, he goes to the game, and this is where the book goes really bad, honestly. Like, beforehand, the book goes off topic constantly, but it was still entertaining because it just went off the rails so amusingly. Whereas here, this is where it just comes off as a really bad wiki article. Like, at this point, the book just now becomes like a very poor text let's play. With some random diary entries where there was one bit where he was talking about how he went to the gym and burnt 3,000 calories, which I call total bullshit on. Like, knowing MovieBob, I doubt he burnt 3,000 fucking calories in a day.
No.
I sincerely doubt that, too. like...
And he's just like really over wording basic gameplay mechanics. And I mean, I get it. You gotta explain how a game plays to people that don't know about video games. But it's just like, it goes into the territory of like, dude, this is like, you cannot describe this well at all.
Oh.
And then and then when it gets to the fucking Let's Play part, it goes from like, you know, just him talking about like how like Mario's initial levels are like very instructive with their design, and he goes on to describe how that works, which is kind of cool. But it would have been interesting more to read that as an article. Yeah. But then, like, just halfway through the book, it just becomes, like, a very bad text Let's Play.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just always, like, some variant of, I died here, damn it, or I jumped on the Goomba and I got the power up, and it's just, like, this would have been better to watch as a Let's Play.
For real.
Like, this book just goes just bad fast.
Yeah, it really does. Like... like this is like a 200 and something page book.
This is like a 208 page book.
Yeah, and only in the stuff we talked about, like the personal Vietnam and like all the other stuff, that's only like the first 65 pages of it.
Oh yeah, it's just like and the thing is, I want to go back and to something I said earlier. This book touts itself as like the definitive analysis of Mario 3. This is not definitive analysis. This is just a shitty text Let's Play.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, it's like, analysis would imply he really goes into detail what made Mario 3 an innovative game. Because let's be honest, this game is genuinely innovative for its time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Mario 3 was one of the first video games to actually have a proper moving camera the entire time.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Like, it would go diagonal at times, which was a very uncommon thing at the time.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like, the screen could go diagonally instead of just vertical or horizontal. It could do both.
Yeah.
Which was just straight up goddamn voodoo at the time. And all the bosses were unique. It was a big game for its time, too. Like, there was 8 worlds with tons of levels to explore.
Yeah.
Like, Mario 3 did a lot of innovative things. And did ways to subvert expectations. But it's just... Honestly, Mario 3 is a game that deserves a good treatment like this. But it's just... It doesn't work with MovieBob. Because he just really goes into just excessive detail or not enough detail.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I really have nothing nice to say about this book, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I feel like if this was an autobiography about MovieBob that just simply talked about how Mario was a big deal of his life, I think this would be a little bit more forgivable. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it'd still be so bad it's good, but I can at least see more people wanting to read that because it's an autobiography.
Yeah.
But this is just an overindulgent just piece of consumerist garbage about Mario 3 that touts itself as definitive analysis, but it's just not good.
Yeah.
No, not even close.
Like, it's genuinely telling when the stuff about that's not about Mario 3 is way more entertaining than the stuff that it is about Mario.
Oh yeah,
and that's like... it's a perfect example of so bad it's good because it doesn't talk about what he needs to half the time. More than half, actually.
Like, it's just like, he goes off topic so many times at the beginning that it's just like, what the hell does this have to do with Mario? And you want to read the rest. But when it comes to when it's actually about Mario, which is like the rest of the half of the book, it just gets bad, like so bad it's horrible.
Yeah, honestly.
Because it's just like, the real meat of it is the first bit of this.
Yeah, everything else really was just like, oh god, this is boring.
Oh yeah. But it's like, the only thing I think is of notice is the epilogue.
Oh yeah.
Where he just simply talks about like how the memories of Mario 3 will still be there. Which, you know, there's a lot of good games that we've played that give us nostalgic memories for sure.
Yeah.
Which is why I do the streaming stuff. But it's just like, why didn't MovieBob just make a Let's Play to talk about Mario 3 instead of just writing a book?
Yeah, he had the equipment, clearly.
It's like, he reviews movies, and it's like, if he goes, well, I didn't have a capture card, it's like, dude, you could have just clearly bought one. They're not that expensive.
It's probably less effort than, like, you know, writing a whole fucking book.
Or he could have just wrote a review. Like, at that point, like, everyone did it. Why write a book on it? I mean, I get that he wanted to do it because it was never done before, but honestly, just after reading this, it just shows why this was never done before. Because it's not a good idea.
Honestly, yeah.
Like, it really just doesn't work. It's just it meanders all the time.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I had more fun reading the Mario movie pitch, because that was just, like, at least it's, like, you can at least say MovieBob was creative with that.
Yeah.
And and even he admitted it was just more fanficky.
Yeah. But
I also do want to say this as a heads up. Please, anyone that's watching this, do not harass Bob Chipman over this, please.
Please.
Like, really don't. Be the better man and do not harass him.
Honestly, there's no point.
Like, there's no point to harassing people that you don't like, really. Like, why
Exactly.
bother?
Yeah, for real.
Like, it says, essentially, because excessive harassment can also be considered illegal.
Yes.
And is it really that worth it just because you don't like their content?
Yeah, honestly, like...
And I
Like,
think the
what
sad
we-
thing is that, like, there are some things with MovieBob that I feel like I can agree with some things he says at times. Like, not the fringe shit, not remotely that.
Yeah.
But, like, when he's just talking about stuff like geek culture, I feel like sometimes he can raise a decent point here and there.
Yeah.
Because, I remember, like, one time he was talking about, like, he made a video called Not Okay one time, which actually is not a bad video of his. I will say that. Where his video called Not Okay makes 3 important points, where he says it's not okay to throw around sexual harassment, racial slurs, or any kind of verbal bigotry and pretend it's actually, you know, like, to act like it's part of nerd culture, because it's not. It really
Yeah,
isn't.
Honestly,
Or,
yeah.
like, and he's just talking about how the First Amendment's just constantly misused and says it's protection from saying whatever you want, when in reality, it's not.
Yeah, it really...
Like, it's not carte blanche to say whatever you want.
Yeah, for real.
No government action can be taken, but societal action is not prohibited by any means.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we have definitely shat on MovieBob's book and definitely have made fun of his content, but I do implore you guys to not harass him. We meant to say this earlier, but somehow this actually bypassed us. But
Yeah.
I feel like that's just an unspoken rule. Like, you should never harass anyone that you don't like their content.
Yeah.
But I just feel like we just have to say it, because there's going to be an asshole out there that decides to, harass him over this book not being good.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, this book is really fucking bad.
Yeah, totally.
But it's just, this book is just trash.
Yes. Very much so.
Like, I think without a doubt, this is probably, I'm going to be honest and say, this is probably the worst book I've ever fucking read. Like, if I'm going to score this, I would give this I want to say a 2 out of 10. Also, I don't think I mentioned this also, but there's a shit ton of typos in this book, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, there really are.
Like, there were, like he
You
does
did
not...
mention that, but yeah.
Like, I mentioned that earlier, like, when it came to his movie pitch, but, it's really bad in the book. Like, he never spaces out Wii U, like, ever. Or it's like he'll constantly misspell video. Like, because I remember there was one time where he was supposed to clearly say it was a video game I should have loved. But he actually wrote, I should have been a video game I loved.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing is just bad.
Horrible.
And
Horrible,
it's just-
yet hilarious for all the wrong reasons.
It's horrible, hilarious, and that just gets boring when it comes to the actual game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, mm-hmm.
Let's see, I'm trying to find another...
Before we were going to record the podcast, we all said, hey, just read to page 66. Anything past that is just don't bother.
Honestly.
Which, for the record, past that is where the actual...
Oh, yeah, I skimmed the whole book again last
forum
night.
walk play starts. So,
Like,
what
I
can
think to
say?
give an idea, like, I wrote a Word document about almost all important pages. When it came to pages 1 through 66, almost all the pages were listed. When it came to pages beyond that, there was just noticeable gaps. Like, you go from page 67 to 72, then 78. Then it would go just straight up. Like, I have one gap go from page 125, and then the next page I list was page 144.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it was like, at that point, the book just had become bad. And there was like nothing of actual note.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And it's just like, Mario 3 is a good game. Let's not get that wrong, and I can agree with MovieBob. Mario 3 is a really good game, but I feel like this did not need a book written on it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, he would have been better off just writing an article on the internet.
Yeah.
Or like on RetroJunk even.
Yeah.
Because RetroJunk, for what it's worth, there are good articles written about some games and people's retrospectives or something. Or he could have talked about like how he first played it back in the day, which would have been kind of interesting to see, and how it blew his mind as a kid.
Oh,
Like, yeah, it would probably read off as like a text let's play again, but he would probably say like how the game blew his mind at the time. And how it like was an innovative thing at the time. But it's just like he doesn't do that. There's a lot of wasted opportunities with this book.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Like, honestly, that's just the best way I could describe it. It's like... And before anyone says, like, well, let's see you do better. I don't need to write a book to understand that this book is garbage.
I don't need several years worth of classes in game design or, literary criticism to know that this book is fucking awful.
Oh,
I'm not
absolutely
writing a
not.
book just
Especially because there are... You want to know what's a good example of game analysis that pretty much did a better job of this within only 20 minutes? I know this guy's a divisive figure on the internet nowadays due to his tenure on Game Grumps, but there was Sequelitis when it came to Mega Man X. That was a really good analysis of Mega Man X as a game.
I agree.
And yeah, it's definitely undermined by Aaron's lack of skill in certain games, but I feel like he still did a good job talking about what made Mega Man X tick, and he wasn't trying to write a book about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like his sequelitis for Mega Man X was okay and all.
Yeah.
Like, I feel some parts were.
Oh, some parts definitely like are undermined nowadays by Aaron's lack of skill.
Well, it's more it's that, and also I think some of like his talking about theming doesn't work when you're someone like me who never got any of the fucking Zero parts.
I mean, I got all the armor parts myself.
I've never gotten them ever.
Good luck playing Mega Man X6, though. Be thankful that game starts you with an armor, but don't play Mega Man X6 ever.
I'll play it.
Honestly, play it once and then never touch it again.
Probably. That's probably
Same
what
with X7.
X7 just
X6 is a good example of, do you want to see bad level design? Just play that game once and you'll understand why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I honestly, I will say at least
X7 is bad for a myriad of different reasons, though.
X7 is just bad, but it's more boring. X7 is more DMC2 bad.
It was a bold
describe-
attempt, but it just fell so flat.
I would describe X7 as more DMC2 bad, where it's just it's bad. Don't get me wrong, but it's more boring bad. Whereas X6 is like, I want to chuck my console out the window bad.
No, that's X7 for me. That game
No,
just-
X7 is bad, but it's boring bad.
I haven't played.
No,
either of
we're
those.
just gonna have to disagree.
No, X7 is bad, but it's boring. Whereas X6 is
I think
genuinely
Jesse, leave and
frustrating.
be.
I just think X7 is worse. I think they're both.
Like, I think they're both objectively.
I think they're both garbage, but I don't really have a take on either of them.
We're not talking about Witcher here because Witcher is not related to the topic. Which, let's get back to the topic, fellas.
The bitcher.
But anyway, like, this book was just fucking terrible.
Oh yeah.
We said that enough.
Yeah, it's just
It is-
I can't. I feel like I'm talking about like a broken record about this because this book was just not good.
We have said it a lot, but I mean, it's still right every time you say it.
Yeah, it's just like it's just I can't fathom like why would you write this?
Oh yeah.
Like
Because he's delusional, that's why.
it's just exactly like what like he had the game over thinker at this point.
Yeah, he could have just done a video on it.
Like he could have just done a game over thinker.
This was 2012. He could have easily just done a video on it.
Oh yeah, he could have done a game like how other people did videos on this. Like Angry Video Game Nerd did a review on Mario 3 alongside the Wizard, which was pretty good.
Yeah, and it was way shorter than this.
Oh yeah, and even then, the Angry Video Game Nerd is a fucking character.
Yeah. But
And even then, he was more like, yeah, we're gonna review a good game for once, and he just did a good job explaining why Mario 3 was good.
Yeah.
And there's also like then there's James Rolfe's actual video about the console wars, where he doesn't call it his own personal Vietnam,
Oh yeah.
and does a good job of just talking about about the SNES and Genesis, and does a really good job explaining what makes both consoles good, but what makes one the better one overall. And does it in a very mature, researched way. And even he was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be a proper authority on this, but I'll do my best and say why I personally thought was the best console.
Yeah. Like, it's just really.
Like, this is just more...
What else is there to say about it?
This is
Like,
just childish. A lot of this is childish.
Yeah. Okay.
Childish is
It
the
comes
best way.
across as like he definitely has a lot more maturing to do, despite him being over 40.
Yeah, like he is clearly a man-child.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I really don't want to come off as super hard on this guy, but it's just like, MovieBob.
It's hard not to. That's the problem.
Yeah, because it's like, he's a movie critic, so he should clearly know how to, he should clearly know how to be articulate. Because I was watching him talk about Captain N recently, and while definitely his defense on it was excessive and pretty much based on over nostalgia, I could at least make an argument that he at least knew what he was talking about there better. Or with the movie pitch, he at least knew what he was talking about better, too. And did a good job describing how the movie should look.
Yeah.
Even if it was
This just feels like the ramblings of a fucking
This is
insane
just
dude
this just
in
comes
some
off
parts.
as a manifesto.
Oh yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Like, this is just, like, a manifesto about, like, why Mario 3 is, like, in his mind,
The
the greatest
man-child
game.
manifesto.
Like, it's just, and again, let's not get back to the, like he compares Mario 3's reveal to the JFK assassination.
Yeah.
Which is, like, I can't get...
Well, it's like, that's hyperbolic to another fucking level that
like,
I
would
really am
be
not
like
familiar
me
with.
saying, like, it's just, that would be, like, it's just, I still can't get over that, because it's just, like, JFK's assassination is, like, notable for being, like, a massive tragedy. The guy was shot on live television.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was sniped in his convertible.
Yeah.
Like, Mario 3 is, like, I can see, like, that being a climactic reveal for kids, but it's, like, even most
I
kids...
mean,
would
and
be
he
like,
was a kid at the time, pretty sure.
yeah,
So.
he was a kid at the time, but it's, like, still... Like, the fact that he said this as an adult says a lot about his emotional maturity.
That is truly baffling.
Like, honestly, I want to
like,
say this.
It'd have been better if he said, like, to a kid it seems something like that. But no, he doesn't.
He does. Honestly, Mario is to MovieBob as the Sonic is to Chris Chan.
Yeah.
And no, if anyone asks, we are not talking about them for a while.
Yeah.
Like, we are just going to preface
That's
that
for
right
the best.
now. We are going to preface that right now until there's actual sentencing. We are not talking about Quick. We will talk about Sonic 2 at some point, but not right now.
Yeah.
That is for another time, and we are going to wait
Can we
for
talk about
dust.
Duke Nukem?
We are going to wait for dust to settle on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, again, it's a piece of analysis. This just also fails, because again, most of the time it's just step-by-step descriptions of every level broken up by the occasional personal music.
Oh, actually, Jesse, I have an idea for another episode. I'll say after the podcast, though.
Yeah. Give me an idea about it after the podcast. But it's just like, this just fails as an analysis, because again, this is just a shitty strategy guide.
Oh yeah.
Like, this reads like those really bad, like, strategy guides you can just buy from, like, unlicensed companies.
So, any other thoughts?
I'm gonna look at some
Audio.
Let me look at some reviews on Goodreads real quick, because I feel like those would be some good Goodreads.
Let's not spend too much time on this, though.
Yeah, we're not gonna spend too much time on it, but we're gonna get. I want to get, because there was a good review I did see about this. Okay, you'll like this one, Connor. I recall reading Christopher Taunton rated this 1 star and says, I recall reading about the author who was hired to write the novelization of the first Halo game and saying that his book was a series of passages about Master Chief running and shooting because he was hired to write the book version of Halo, and that running and shooting was all he saw in the game. The author
Fall of Reach. Yeah, that book was written in like 2 months.
Yeah, but the author of this book similarly wrote about running and jumping, but sells itself as being the book to treat gamers with a critical eye. This is not a book of game criticism. I say this as a person who has written numerous articles and book on critical analysis of game environments, levels, and worlds for respected publications. Super Mario Bros. 3 deserves better than this lazy effort. I think that sums up everything we have to say about this book.
Yeah,
Like, it sells itself
not
as
a terrible
a
summation.
genuine criticism, as a genuine analysis, but all this is, it's just Mario running and jumping.
Especially the later like half of the book.
Oh, totally.
Oh yeah.
Like, the late half of this book just...
I think the main selling point is just how overblown this guy thinks Mario's impact on his life is.
Oh, yeah, and it's just like... I mean, again, let's say this also, I do like video games a lot. Video games are a good hobby of mine, but I don't take it to this level, honestly. Like, I really don't. I know when to separate my hobby from you know, my real life.
Mm-hmm.
And this is coming from someone that plays fighting games competitively.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and coming from someone who dabbles in Halo competitively as well.
Like, hell, I stream, but I actually do stuff frequently enough. So anyway, let's go to closing thoughts on this. Like,
All right.
Like, as we've said before, this book is just trash.
Oh yeah.
And, like,
If you have a copy of it, you might as well just fucking throw it in the landfill.
yeah. Like, if you have a copy of it, honestly, like, it's just...
You'd be doing yourself a favor, trust me.
Yeah, like, use that as firewood.
Yeah.
Like, and also, like, MovieBob's actual work may vary, like, critically. Like, because there are definitely other cases where, like, there's a lot more we can say about MovieBob, but we'll be here all day because MovieBob is an interesting fella.
That's a rabbit hole of its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the new Vidya Order. We are going to definitely do more topics on this. I think our next topic...
stuff like this as well.
Let's make our next topic, what should we make our next topic, fellas? I got an idea.
Well, tell us your idea first.
Well, I was thinking we could talk about Dark Side Phil.
Wow.
I was thinking more of something under the line of gladiformers.
Oh shit, we could talk about that too, but I would just love to talk about Dark
But
Side Phil.
I've got another idea that I'm going to tell you after the podcast, though.
I think we should wait for gladiformers because we have to watch that with everybody still. But
I was thinking, actually, I'll just say what I was thinking anyway. Control Alt Delete.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Control Delete I'd love to talk about too.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that.
I know what we need to talk about. Zionic Madness.
Not really. There's not really much to talk about Zionic Madness, really.
What?
I think,
Zionic
like you said,
Madness
we
is like
can wait to talk about Sonichu until there is a definitive
no,
answer on what's
Zionic
going
Madness.
on.
No, he's talking about Zionic. That series of that. Remember that edgy Flash thing
No,
we
I know.
watched? Like
Yeah.
Zionic Madness, it's like there's not really much to talk about other than it's just laughably edgy nowadays. But it was back. It was rooted in Newgrounds culture.
Of course. I'm just saying, like, we can, like, if we want to do Sonichu, we can wait until we have definitive answers on what's going on with Christian. But that's probably thinking a little too far ahead.
Okay.
Whereas I feel like we could talk about Darkseid Phil. Like we should talk about the Darkseid Phil lore. Because
That is not a bad idea.
There's a whole lot of sagas with Darkseid Phil that are worth
Yep.
talking about.
Yep. That's going to be a fun episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we were gonna have a good time with that. Totally.
There's so much content. You thought this was ridiculous? Oh boy.
And the best thing about this, we only have just Darkseid Phil as a whole to talk about, so we're gonna have a lot easier time talking about this. Whereas like with MovieBob, I feel like when we got to the book, it was a lot harder to talk about everything in order because it's just the book meanders so much.
It's not even like a generally straight line like a river. It's just like, I don't even know. It's like a fucking radiator, like that kind of zigzag pattern.
Like this book just goes up and down.
It just goes to the far ends of every extreme every chance it gets.
Like a lot of this book was just him rambling.
For real.
Yeah, it said this. It sounds like the ramblings of some kind of like mentally ill person. It was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Stay on topic, Spinley. Seriously.
I'm gonna go ahead and head out.
Alrighty.
All right, of course.
But yeah, we're gonna get to the closing talk. But yeah, we could talk about LTG someday.
I mean,
too.
these kind of is our closing thoughts, though.
Yeah, but it's kind of like we'll discuss that when it comes to DSP and LTG. We'll make that our next episode. We'll talk about both of them.
Both of them.
Are you sure we should talk about both?
Yes.
I think
LTG
DSP might
story
kind
is
of
a
take
lot
up its own
shorter.
episode.
LTG.
There's a lot to talk about.
We'll talk about LTG next because I feel like a lot of people know about Darkseid Phil.
Okay.
Well, I'd say more people know about LTG.
Okay,
these
but
days.
here's the thing, guys. If we're gonna talk about LTG, we all need to get VPNs.
Oh yeah,
VPNs.
let's actually talk about Darkseid Phil instead because like LTG is so
That's
dedicated
true.
to people that criticize him.
I have a VPN, so like I'm not sure if you
Let's
guys.
talk about Darkseid Phil.
Yeah, I will get fucked.
Let's talk about Darkseid Phil.
Yeah, that's why I was like literally. That was like he has.
What the fuck does he?
Yeah, LTG has the power of not being able to be made fun of. You know, threats of violence.
How's that threats of violence?
He'll find a
It's
way.
a reference to South Park. It's like that. That's straight up. Like that's the power.
The thing that got
to not
cut.
be able to make fun of.
Oh.
But yeah, basically.
I just thought you were saying that he was going to like DOS us or something.
Oh, if we do, then probably yes.
Yeah, that's why I thought you said we need a VPN.
Yeah, that's why we need a VPN.
Oh, well, I mean that's fine.
But anyway,
I've got one.
As we were saying though, with this book, it's just not good. Don't read it.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Like,
PSA: don't read this book.
Like, there is better stuff you can do.
We've said that enough
by this point, anyway. So yeah.
All right, you want to wrap it up here?
Yeah, I think we're about to wrap it up. But yeah, basically,
Alrighty.
join us next time. Join us next time on We Know Vidya as we talk about fighting game rosters and other stuff. And join us next time for the Fringe Cast.
And just the general state of media, of the medium in general.
Yeah, and join us next week join us next time for the Fringe Cast again, as we will tackle something. We will let you guys know what we will tackle next.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Good.
Peace out.